Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, I join you from the tropical
10
island of
seconds remaining.
Cyprus, the Mediterranean, in stark 35 degrees
5
heat, and
seconds
my
remaining.
laptop is screaming at me as two are screaming, two of the titans of Irish Dota Division 2 this season, Cavan Chumpions, taking on Crepe. I'm going to be taking you
Dia
through this
team
one
ban.
with one of the stalwarts of Dunes this season, a stand-up player, Mousy. Mousy, how we do?
Hey, coming at you live from the exotic
10 seconds remaining.
plains of Donegal. I don't know. It's shit up here.
5 seconds remaining.
No
Yeah, I was going to say
Cyprus for
very
me.
plain,
No, yeah,
lots of mountains.
no Cyprus for me. Just I'm here. How you all doing?
I think the worst part as well is that like it's a very packed hotel, so everyone in my vicinity is gonna have a horrible night, especially because I'm 2 hours ahead of everyone else. So it is like 9 o'clock right now, but don't say I don't give up
Red
everything
team
for
ban.
Irish Dodo. I could be out in Napa right now, living my best life, but instead I'm here. Let's look at these bands. So Cavan Champions ban out the exact same bands
10
that Fear the
seconds
Samurai
remaining.
did against Creep and Joris, in fact being the Axe and the Pudge. This makes total
5
sense.
seconds
Morgs is an
remaining.
excellent Axe player. They tend to pair it with the Skyrath Mage and
Radiant
make your life
team ban.
fucking miserable. So I think that's a really good ban. And the Pudge, they played in three different positions, so a very sensible ban. And their third ban is the Pugna, which is, of
10
course,
seconds
a Slam
remaining.
Flipper Dolphin special. On the other side, we see the ban of
5
the Vengeful
seconds. Dire
Spirit,
team
a
ban.
very versatile support. We see Triple Pick, but he can't get Mr. Winterwyvern. And we see the ban out on Rubik, which is a broccoli
10
special. One
seconds
hero to
remaining.
make it through these bans I'm interested in pointing out. Well, two, really.
5 seconds
Firstly,
remaining.
the Shadow Shaman is still available, even post patch. And secondly, the Truffle Snout Winter Wyvern is still available. So I'd expect to see one of these two coming out from the side of Cavan. On the side of Creep Endurers, they have a lot more kind of space to think about what they want to play here. If I
Dire
was going
team
to
pick.
guess something that could come out here, I think Shaman's their first pick and they put it on Flipper, right, Mousy?
Um, yeah, that's pretty fair. Like the bans have
Radiant
been
team
very,
pick.
I suppose, hero specific so far. I know a lot of their heroes have been strong in the meta, so like seeing the axe is no surprise. Kind of surprised by the Magnus. Uh, I'm not sure how much the patch has affected it yet, but Quap is still available. Like a lot of big meta heroes are still in the
10
pool,
seconds
but
remaining.
again, that's with patch only coming out really yesterday.
5 seconds
How
remaining.
much of a difference has that made yet,
Dire team
or
ban.
will it
Yeah,
make
this
today?
first pick mag, not something we would have expected from the side of Creep Endurers. In fact, not in any of the top five. The only person who does play it is Muko, who does play a pause four. So I think this is most likely a pause four Magnus. He hasn't picked it much in the league, but it is his most played in pubs. So I wouldn't be massively surprised to see it come out there.
10
And
seconds
immediately, as
remaining.
predicted, in response, it's been really good this season. They probably
5
picked this Magnus
seconds
as a core.
remaining.
If they haven't done their research, in both
Dire team
cases, the
ban.
Wyvern pick makes a lot of sense here.
Look, you're 2 hours ahead. You know what's going to happen here, so
Radiant
you can
team
just tell us
ban.
Haha.
the draft now. But yeah, like nothing particularly surprising there. Wyvern pretty good, and I think it's a pretty nice one into mag too. Like as long as you're not caught in the RP, you got a lot of counterplay. So especially then when he's played it so well in the last couple of games, that
10
yeah, you want to see
seconds
him.
remaining.
You kind of want to see that band out if you're going for this route.
5 seconds
Both teams
remaining.
picking up what I think are supports early on, which is not surprising. One of the things I was going to say coming into this game, I think the draft strategy versus Cavan Champions is a little bit different than versus other Div 2 stacks. What I mean by that is I think Seer plays at a level that is somewhat above most of Div 2, and Jojo being forced to move into a new position has found the mid lane rather difficult in some matchups. So I think the prioritization of the safe lane and mid
Radiant
lane is going to be
team
something
pick.
that both these teams have quite heavily on their mind. We see that quite early with the ban out of the Ursa coming out from Creep Endurers in that second phase.
Like we've seen Seer pull out some really good games over this season. As you said, like
10
he's
seconds
kind
remaining.
of the anchor of the team, I suppose, especially given the rank disparity.
5 seconds
Creep
remaining.
Enjoyers being kind of the heavy favorites on rank on paper, but Cavan Chumpions definitely not out of this yet, and they have quite a few um, good opportunities as long as Seer can kind of pull this out. You know, we got what
Dire
third best
team
Wraith
pick.
King in Ireland, second. What's the current
Dire
tier list?
team pick.
Listen, I will not speak for speak up be in trouble. Pickup of the Shadow Shaman for Cavan Chumpions that will undoubtedly go into the back pocket of
Radiant team
either
pick
probably Brock Lee.
Witch
And immediately
Doctor.
double pick from Creep Enjoyers. They take up the Witch Doctor, which is a 5 Witch Doctor that'll go into the hands of Flipper Dolphin, second most played hero. And I will tell you this, I will tell you no more. That's a 3 Phoenix.
3 Phoenix on that's on
10
Morgs, is
seconds
it?
remaining.
I'm trying to remember there. He is
Most
he's
likely, yes.
yeah.
5
I
seconds
haven't
remaining.
seen it so far. Has he been playing it?
Not in league, but in pubs.
Okay. Yeah. No, Morgs is very solid in the off lane. I've seen it like he's kind of come a long way over the last season or two as well. He's I know he kind of came in. He's been around Arizona for years, but he kind of only really came into the leagues in the last one or two, and has grown a lot even in that time. So seeing him pick up some straw. Yep, I'll let you
This
go.
was a hero I was surprised to see make it into this far into the draft. And it's very,
10
very
seconds
strong.
remaining.
And it's one that Seer has been practicing quite a lot. The Nature's Prophet coming out
5 seconds
next in
remaining.
this draft. This will be a 1 Prophet. They do not play it
Dire
on mid,
team pick.
and they pick their supports. And the follow-up pick then is the Abaddon, which no leaves will be on.
I just want to see money bags. We know that Prophet it got hit in the patch, but it felt like it was much more of a support Prophet hit. The core
10
Prophet was
seconds
still
remaining.
perfectly fine, really. So, maybe this could be the time. Maybe we could finally see some money bags, and if that was untouched. Just saying.
One of the things I really like about this new pickup is just the ability to hit the egg. So the Nature's Prophet, even if he gets Fire Spirit, can get hit without a Select Shield, purging off those Fire Spirits, allowing him to kill that egg quite quickly. You can see something like that in the Mjolnir build. It does require quite a lot of execution on the side of Cavan, um, but it's a really, really nice egg solution considering that their supports are already locked in. Creep Enjoyers
Dire
taking
team
some
back.
time on this next pick, most likely looking at the easy money pick here. And the Wraith King is what comes up next for the side of Creep Enjoyers. I think most likely that is probably going to be the Immortal X hero.
Yeah, well, I think their lanes are pretty set there. As you said, it's like we're looking at a Phoenix
10
off lane, but
seconds
that's like
remaining.
Phoenix Mag and Witch Doctor Wraith King. So it's
5
really
seconds
kind of
remaining.
a straightforward draft, I suppose. I'm preferring Cavan here, as you said. Like they have some really good, like really strong heroes. First of all, and I do really like the idea of the Abaddon into say the Phoenix attack speed, slow, purging all of that stuff, keeping people alive. It has the potential to do really well, but I suppose it's just going to come down to how the fights pull out. Really,
I think the one concern on my side right now is just that your Shadow Shaman really is your only answer to the Witch Doctor at the moment in terms of that instant stun. It
Radiant
puts a lot
team
of
ban.
pressure onto
Radiant
Brock
team
Lee's
ban.
kind of back pocket here. If he gets killed early in the fight, then the only counter spell you have at any point at this moment is that big Wyvern ult. And when you have things like a Wraith King that specialize in killing those backline supports, that feels significantly more difficult. So Cavan ban out the Lina in this
10
last slot,
seconds remaining.
waiting on this last one. Creep Enjoyers ban out the Quap. I think
5
if I
seconds
were Creep
remaining.
Enjoyers here and
Dire
I'm looking
team
at the
ban.
school, I think you ban out the TP here. It's a hero that Triple Snout has played to quite high effect in previous games. It's a hero that's really good into their lineup in terms of the strength wars they're going for. The silence is affected quite poorly. Um, and if they don't ban it, I would expect it to be picked up on
10
the side of
seconds
Cavan.
remaining.
In terms of what Creep Enjoyers are going for, in terms of what's left in Easy Money's
5
pool,
seconds
um,
remaining.
as silly as it sounds, his most played in pubs is Lascar. It's still available and be pretty good this game. The Shadow Fiend also still available, but hit pretty hard by the patch. And his Dazzle, which we got absolutely rinsed by, also still available.
yeah, they have a few things. Like maybe there's potential for like a sniper. I don't. I'm kind of iffy on it. I,
Dire
I'm
team
kind of worried about how they react to just getting jumped, as you said, by creeping jars at the minute. If they could just jump in
Yeah,
with an OP and an egg, like as you said, like they're not going to be able to cancel the witch doctor ulti.
Radiant
That's a bit
team
of a
pick.
concern. But
that is
Tinker,
not something I anticipate coming out here. So
no.
Ban from Cavan onto the Dazzle. I think it's a really good ban, and the deep ban as well as predicted. I thought is that is very good to do it to Cavan. And they've limited Triple Snouts mid pool quite
10
significantly by
seconds
taking out both the
remaining.
Quap and the DP. And I'll be interested to see what Triple
5
Snout pulls
seconds
out
remaining.
here. The sniper for himself also, if he goes to snipe the Agam still to get fast stun, could not be the worst thing in the world. He needs to pick something that can win against Tinker. And
Choose your
that's, oh,
hero.
I'm too good, bro. 2 hours ahead. 2 hours
2
ahead.
hours ahead.
That's all I can say. I told you I was going to have this draft unlock. I told you I knew these teams, but even I'm happy with that one.
Yeah. No, I definitely think it's a good option. I'm still worried about how the team fights are going to go. But they have really good pick-off potential, I suppose, especially in the Shaman. And they have some good options in terms of saving with like the Wyvern and the Abaddon. So I think it's just going to come down to execution. Like I suppose as all these games do, but you know, definitely in this case they have they have really good ways. If they are ahead out of lane, I think that Cavan Chumpions would be taking this game. But it's really going to come down to how they lane, and then that first maybe 5 minutes. If they get one or two bad team fights, I think they could get run down by Crepe and Jors here.
I think I'm leaning quite heavily onto the side of Crepe insurers. The reason why I'm leaning towards them is I am a little bit questioning the lack of hard lockdown on the side of Cabin Chumps, especially into a hero like Witch Doctor and into Wraith King. Both of those heroes aren't going to be too perturbed by what the side of Cabin can do against here. But the one thing I will say is this guy, Trouble Snout, has had some absolute godly performances on this Wyvern. And if he can keep that up for this game, it's going to be one hell of a good one. Hello, everyone in my hotel apparently hates me, and everyone back home. A reminder, this is the semifinals of the
Prepare for
Irish
battle.
Dota League Season 5. Winner of this game will play the winner of EDC versus Cavan Champions. So we're getting into this one. Okay, so all five on the side of the Cavan Chumps look like they're going to go towards this top position. Look at the level one now. See on paper, which team's level one do you favor? Do you think the sniper's ability to use the shrapnel is that good, even with the ghillie suit class taken?
Yeah, and no, I think he 100% wants the ghillie suit fast at this game. That was completely the correct choice, I'll say. Otherwise,
Hmm.
he's just getting caught out. Um, I do. I don't know. It's kind of a hard one. I do like Cavan's
30
side
seconds
here, but as you said, like they don't have great lockdown, especially early on. But they have an Abaddon, they have a Winter Wyvern. I think Cavan would take this level one.
Let's see if they're able to. They are currently standing low ground to the side of Creep and As they walk up this hill. They are in quite significant danger, but it seems like they are okay with just getting this rune exchange. But
The
hang on,
battle
Seer walking in
begins.
towards this rune could be in some trouble if he takes a right turn here. Needs to be really careful. They're leaving the bounty rune there for now, allowing this nature's prophet to walk closer. He's doing the soda step. He's caught. He does get that bounty rune, but he will definitely die for it. Hit it with all those spells. First blood goes into the back pocket of Immortal X. So I know you said I told him XD. Those greedy South Africans, honestly, what can I say?
He's yeah, look, he's not recovered from the loss of his mind yet. Sure,
Uh,
done in by
Seer
US tariff.
famously
Yeah,
to, to a guy like Seer, greed is good, especially when still looking elsewhere. He does still get that bounty rune, so not complete doom, but not the start he would have wanted in the spot lane. Let me also see what this Wyvern is. That percentage-based damage against these two strength boards, very, very useful.
yeah. As long as he can stay kind of further back from the mag, I don't really see how they do too much to them in this lane. Like it's really hard to get kills into Wyvern, and then with Nature's Prophet just keeping them relatively topped up at least, and getting the potential ganks on, say, mid or the other team safe lane there. I really like how Cavans have the lanes set up.
Looks like Muko's going for a bit of a creep skip. This is what I did against us that was honestly not that effective. Because it just forced switches in lanes that were favorable, but in this game makes a little bit more sense. At the end of the day, well, hang on, looks like a bit of damage and comes out onto the Tinker here. Almost going down there in that mid lane, but still he's a whole level above this sniper already, so not a problem for him. Sniper is going to pick up that level 3 though, and with that, some kill opportunity does come onto the Tinker.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, we see Sniper just going for, or not Sniper, we see Tinker just going for the March build here. He's just going to try and farm out the lanes. I think that's like absolutely fine. You're not going to be interacting with Sniper too much later, so I don't really think there's much of a chance for Sniper to kill in lane. Unless Tinker misplays it, of course.
Top lane, they throw out the Maledict out onto the Xiao Shaman, but he does have that big old use of the shield coming up the Abaddon, so now a lot of damage instead onto Immortal X. Does live on this Wraith King, takes a lot of damage in doing so. Now Muko goes for another use there of that creep ball, does get the pull successfully, but takes a lot of damage in doing so. It pushes another semi-free lane into Seer here.
Sniper kind of having a bit of a hard time mid on these last hits at the minute. Noticing it's not going too well for him yet. Hopefully once he gets a couple more levels of shrapnel, he'll be able to play his game a bit. But, you know, I wonder, is the Tinker patch, is that, do you think it's enough of a buff? If you're unaware, it's his keen conveyance cooldown has went from 80 seconds to 50 seconds, which means almost nothing.
Indeed. Top lane, they lose both Broccoli and No Leaves to some aggression there. My apologies, my laptop is screaming at me to turn it off, so I'm just sorting a few little small things out here, but two very big kills in that top lane, really turning these lanes on their heads. And now, you know, looking at these lanes, this Phoenix having a very free start, this Tinker having a very free start. Who do you favor going into this late game, Steve?
I think I would probably favor Creeping Jars. As I said, like, I think Cavan's big thing right now is lanes, and kind of my prediction was if they don't get out of lanes doing well, then I can see them being ran over. But especially in the late game, you know, a Tinker, a Magnus, it's really hard to ever count a team that can just catch and, you know, just win a team fight off the back of 2 spells. So, I mean, Cavan always have ways back in, but, you know, it's definitely not as easy for them to, say, push uphill whenever they can just get caught out by a single RP. Oh.
Yeah, looking pretty tricky so far for this side of Chumps. They are doing as much hunting as they can on this big old shaman. They have the shield coming out of the Abaddon to save him temporarily. They now use up those shackles. The right are going to take down this shaman in time. Another death for him, and no TP back this time after that death. But in comes Seer on the MP. He wants the revenge kill, throws out the Sprout onto this Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor looking like they're in a huge amount of trouble here. Most likely go down, and down they do go indeed. Can they get the follow then afterwards onto the Wraith King? Doesn't look like they're going to be able to do so, but a nice free kill from to pick up there on the NP, putting much more into this game.
Yeah, they're getting something back out of it at least. I know, like, as I said, they're kind of suffering on the last hit side at the minute. Just gonna check the net worths here, and yeah, no, admittedly that's pretty representative.
And I'm going to have to ask Andy to take over this one. My PC is overheating too hard.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say, folks. I'm so sorry. This is not going to work. Sorry, folks. I'll see you if I can get back to game 2, but
No
this one, Andy, that cool with you?
Yeah, all good, man.
Thanks, folks. Sorry.
No problem. See you in a bit, man.
Alright, we'll have to see
that,
if my
folks.
microphone is working for the stream, but we'll catch up with the game as No Leaves looks like he's going to drop over a fight on the fruit. Broccoli potentially next up. Flipper drops the Maledict. Hopefully they finish him off. A little bit of chicken play, but
Radiant's top tower
they'll find it. Double kill for Flipper. And bot lane is a skewer out. Muko finds Truffle Snout into the freeze. buying a little bit of time, but the damage out from Phoenix is going to be a lot. The level 3 Fire Spirits, pretty hard to contest, as Seer, he's just going to clean up some last hits. He doesn't mind that his support is dead.
Goes kind of, or sorry, not Miko, Morgs is kind of taking over this off lane at the minute. Looking at him right now, like 34 last hits to 22. He's going to hit 6, probably before Prophet hits 5. I don't, like, I'd be kind of worried of just seeing them getting a big kill here right now.
I think that's what we expect when we see a Phoenix lane like this. Although, hard for this team to transition it into a tower. Potentially they need to bring the Wraith King with the skeleton build bot to make that happen. I don't know if the Phoenix is planning to go Meteor Hammer Rush. Let's catch up with his item build. It is just going to be the classic, the Veil.
Yeah, I like the idea of the Meteor Hammer though. I haven't really seen it.
Top lane,
before.
another skirmish. Broccoli, so much damage out coming in such a quick time as the Flipper Zero Maledict takes him out. Seer's rotated. They're going to try and get the return kill onto Flipper, but the heal is coming with the Sprout. No Lisa, Phoenix with the level 6, like you said, but they're focusing the egg. This could be the turning point. Pretty terrible engagement there, as Immortal X into the Wraith form, popped by the rotation from the sniper, finds the 4x kill streak.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit over eager on the Phoenix there just to cast his ult. He hadn't got off any of the fire spirits. He landed right next to the Abaddon. Maybe just delaying that little bit would have made the difference. But yeah, pretty disastrous for them. They've kind of thrown away a lot of the leads that they had built up.
Blinked forwards with his shield, but he's going to be alright. As a smoke rotation out from Phoenix with no ult, possibly just using it for the speed to get back to lane, but we'll see. Flipper finds a stun onto No Leaves, but not quite in range on the Wraith King.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fine, and like we've seen how Broccoli's been dying so far is that, you know, he gets caught by the Witch Doctor stun, so he kind of wants them to use it on the Abaddon right now. As long as he can stay out of the like chain stun, that should be going much better for them. But those deaths so far have been kind of rough for that lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think this Wraith King lane is going to continue to go well for them, though. Even with this Phoenix having a slight hiccup with the play around the map, I think they're still in control of the game, and should still be building their lead up. So it's not slipped out of their hands immediately.
Definitely not. And the Tinker is just kind of, you know, it's going to become a threat soon. It's at 4K. It's 9.5 minutes. 4K net worth on Tinker. He's probably
go on to Flipper. In comes Seer once again with the teleport rotation, but he does get maledicted, so he could be in a little trouble as Tubson makes the rotation, but the laser comes out. Immortal X sprouted up. He's getting clicked down very slowly with the range, but now in comes the egg. Huge damage coming out from the Phoenix, as Truffle's now almost certainly dead here, and a dive forward for Seer. They're going to try and take him down also. Morgs with the refreshed spells might supply enough damage, but Abaddon is here. No Leaves pumping out some damage. Seer shielded up. Maybe No Leaves will be sacrificed here, but another Sprout just to delay slightly with Immortal X diving under the tower. There might be some heroes respawning at this point, and Seer, great teleport out.
Close one. Yeah, really well played from them. Seer and No Leaf just saving each other. really nice. Great ult though from the Phoenix there. That was like a little bit more of what you wanted to see. Whenever they were actually disabled out of it, then getting the ulti off makes such a big difference.
Continued aggression here from Flipper. Will it be punished? Immediate cancel on his ult there, and it looks like he's going to be cleaned up by the supports as nice cast comes out. Seer dropping low to the damage over time from Morgs, but Morgs, he's standing under the shrapnel. He's getting clicked down by Jojo Baggins, as does the Wraith King. And a nice little bait once again from the Seer Nature's Prophet. Maybe a bit too aggressive on this Witch Doctor, really forced this fight next to the tower, and it's eroding their lead.
Yeah, I don't know. Like as you said, they're still quite in control, but like a couple of misplays is pulling it back a little bit. Very 50-50 right now. but again, like I'm just.
I'm fearful
I think
for the Tinker timing.
So I think this Tinker is a bit of a ticking clock right now. Just about to hit blink. Has Kaya. You know, they have a lot of potential to just take over the game as soon as this is online.
Smoke out from the Dire. I was going to say supports because I see a Phoenix, but some heroes from the Dire. Does have Egg coming back off cooldown, and Jojo Baggins is standing pretty far up. They're going to connect to him. The cask is just in range for them to get the Maledict off. Here comes the Immortal Big Swing. Egg down with a couple spirits too, just to secure this. Is Jojo Baggins going to tick out? He ticks out to the Maledict.
Yes.
And a double damage for Wraith King to hit some Ancient Creeps, mayhaps.
It's the large camp first. Yeah. We have blink out on Magnus now. Actually, it's still on career, but that's a big one.
And the Tinker Blink as well at the same time, so potentially these guys can look for a combo together. Is there really much you can combo with the Magnus Blink Skewer? I guess you could skewer him into the Phoenix damage.
Yeah.
If you find Seer on the side lane, might be a nice freebie.
I mean, especially on like a lot of these people at the minute, just catching out, say, the Tinker, the Nature's Prophet, who don't have reliable ways to get out of it. If he can just get a Blink Skewer on those into like a Wraith King stun, that's probably a kill right there. But you know, it's gonna be about the value of it. If they try to get a catch here mid,
They're looking for
if
it
it
pretty
doesn't
hard.
work out, yeah, if it doesn't work out, it could be rough. Like we have Wyvern there as a counter initiate.
Radiant's
Are we
bottom
gonna
Spend
see it?
too much
is
time,
under
yeah.
attack.
It looks like they're abandoning
Dire's
this.
top tower is under attack.
But
Don't worry, as soon as we look away, they'll do it.
yeah, they'll do the jump. It might come here as they find him. Jojo Baggins skewered under the tower. RP to follow. Immortal X stacks the Wraith King stun under the tower, but it looks like it's a pretty secured kill as Thompson has the laser. Truffle's Knight. Winter's Curse comes through. It's not a huge amount of damage, but the wards come through. With the shock, Ether Shock, Broccoli takes down the Tinker. Might take down the Wraith King's first life as well. Witch Doctor ult channeled on the side, not really in range for anyone as the Phoenix dives through. No egg just yet as they clear up the Shadow Shaman. Seer now in trouble under the tier 1. Nature's Prophet shielded up. No Leaf's trying to keep his carry alive as they're turning, looking for this Wraith King's second life. And then the swarm of skeletons are just going to be a bit of free gold. This engagement, I don't really know. Who do you think came out on top in this one?
Yeah, I don't even know. Okay, gold recap wise, quite heavily for Creep Enjoyers. I think it kind of shifted things around a little bit. Tinker dying was good,
Dire's
but
middle tower is under attack.
it looks like he maybe didn't lose much gold. Yeah, I'm just looking at the stats here on this. Like, the one thing is with the Shaman stuff down, though, they don't really have much potential for, say, making a push or getting a cheeky side lane tower anytime soon.
Is under attack.
And potentially that's why they're deciding now's the time to go for this bot tier 1 stun up just to cancel the end of the teleport. Seer is not getting out of here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. No, big pickup right now. Like
Has been killed.
Sears finding it kind of rough. You're seeing the net worth is not favouring him too much right now. The Morgs is ahead of him on Phoenix, and there's all 3 cores on Dire side are ahead of the Nature's Prophet right now.
Is under attack.
And
It's not.
Radiant's bottom
Look,
tower is
yeah,
under
it's not
attack.
a big difference yet, but 5k at 15 minutes, we're kind of starting to see the run it down piece that I mentioned earlier.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
that's the first tier 1 going down with the help of the skeletons.
Dire are scanning.
Looks like they'll try and trade the top one, but I think Creep Enjoyers might want to defend it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
As Morgs is making his way under a ward up the river here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Broccoli did drop the snakes out near the tier 1 tower and does run into a Witch Doctor, but Morgs is here for a little bit of defense. Broccoli, no spells left. Winter's Curse though comes through the Phoenix in a bit of trouble. Can he survive? He does, so they will have the egg for the rest of the fight, and that heal is not going to save you against this big Tinker laser.
actually realized that Shaman was using chicken fingers, no big snake. So,
It was
should have been
slightly
obvious
nerfed
given
with the
he.
patch.
Yeah, I suppose it should have been obvious given he trapped Tinker earlier, but I hadn't really thought about it. Yeah, what's like so the nerf? Base attack time increased from 1.5 to 1.6.
Radiant structures.
Now that happens with all of them, but I suppose it affects the big snakes slightly more. I think it's still probably the better facet, right?
I think it's debatable. As Immortal X does clean up this tower, he does have the ult and the Radiance up, so this might be a tricky go, but he
Sniper
is
getting gone on bot
isolated.
though.
Will they find him to cancel it? Broccoli is there with the Hex. That's life 1. Troffus now getting eaten up by the little skeletons as Thompson has arrived, shoots out a laser onto Broccoli, but he is still going to get cleaned up by the Wraithing Seer. Now in the backline with the teleport, they're looking for the Tinker, but he's just going to be able to teleport out, and Muko now with the blink might look for a skewer back. He finds the Nature's Prophet Seer in a bit of trouble now. Tinker's coming back, big laser's going to come through in a moment. Blinks the wrong way to find him, just runs into No Leaves instead, but Flipper is there to cancel the TP once again on the same spot from Seer. Finds the Maledict, doesn't have the Death Ward to follow up with though. Seer still living through all of this. Can he click his way through? Thompson might just be too strong. The laser finds him. Is there another Maledict tick on him? He survives on Seer.
Yeah, like
Radiant's bottom tower is
bit of a
under
hectic
attack.
team fight there. Came out well for Cavan. Like Jojo got picked farming down in the Radiant jungle and bottom, independent of the fight, and it still came out pretty heavily in favor of them by the look of it.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah,
under
things are
attack.
looking up a bit for Radiant, although this Tinker still looks very, very strong.
Dire's
In a
structures
better
are
fight,
fortified.
where he gets more spells off, it might not look so convincing as No Leaves.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Maybe
attack.
He doesn't have ulti.
in a bit of trouble here. Tinker has one more blink up, but
He
decides
doesn't go for it.
don't want that. As mid lane we miss out on the Magnus. Looks like they found him with the ward trap under the tier 1 tower, and then can clean him up with the Assassinate and a bit of Seer helping.
Yeah, it's still definitely kind of anyone's game at the minute. Prophet has just overtaken Wraith King now. You know, if he had money bags, I'm sure it would have been better. But here we are. Still taking the inferior facet.
We do see the Broccoli Blink Dagger. Tries for something in the river, but was under a ward. At least he recognises that they spotted him out and gets some free gold. But there's the Blink reveal gone for the Shadow Shaman. Aghanim's up on the Tinker at 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Dire
with
are
a relatively hard team, like they've shown on Cavan right now that they're really capable of saving each other. I think our Ags might swing that a bit too much for the other side though now. You know, you're still able to shield, you're still able to heal them, but losing big chunks of your health every 3 or 4 seconds is going to be a little bit hard to come back from.
And there's a gate play coming out. Not sure if they're just looking for Tormentor or a wrap onto these heroes top. No Leaves has a Radiance ready, and it's pretty quick on the Abum. Can Muko find the skewer back? He gets hexed up by Broccoli. Nice save by Broccoli, preventing any go here.
Good reaction, yeah.
But it will likely just be a Tormentor. Could
I
try
think
and
they're
trade this
controlling
on
them
mid
up.
tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, it's very low.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And it's a Shard 4 Flipper, which is pretty good.
I think that's pretty worth it. I mean, 20 minutes, you're not that worried about your tier 1 mid at the minute, and you can easily claw that back. That mid tower on Cavan is pretty low as well. Crepe and George really controlling the map well, I think, at the minute. They're kind of making use of everything they can.
No Leaves pops the smoke, gets skewered back. No save for him this time. Will have the ult to go. He's making his way out. Flipper staying in the sidelines for now. But no ult now on no leave, so if they find him again, it's going to be game over. Or at least for his current life, as Muko is going to look for it. But meanwhile on the triangle, hexed up his immortals, Seer starts hitting, but the egg is there defensively. Skeletons hitting their father, not going to do enough damage to take him out, as Broccoli and Seer on the side, running away. The big laser bounce comes through. Shadow Shaman's definitely out of them. Immortal still with the second life. Blink Dagger coming up soon as Seer, he's just got to teleport all the way out of there. And now Flipper with a Blink Dagger of his own. Muko with the skewer back, they find the Abba, no leaves. It's done for you. Finish off the kill. The Nature's Prophet ult comes through and bounce and cleans up the Magnus. A little bit sloppy there, but still a convincing win. Pushes them back out of this mid lane.
Yeah, I think it was a... Oh, what just happened here?
I think Tinker found
Tinker
someone
taking a
low
save?
health on the side lane who just TP'd in from that fight and pressed one button. So unfortunate for Seer there, not quite respecting the map presence of the Tinker.
Despite his name, he did not see that coming. Oh well. Yeah, this is it right now. I think, you know, I think the next 1 or 2 fights for Crepe and George are going to be pretty pivotal. They should be able to take a tier 2 pretty soon. 8k advantage now, and like a lot of that being on Tinker, especially. Like he has Aether Lens on top of Ags and another 2.7k. What are we going to see out next for him?
Hard to say. I'm not sure what they truly need. What does a hero truly need, Mousy?
I don't know, but having having more money than everyone else in the game is pretty useful for a start. What does a hero truly need? I can't even remember what the video did. It needs a player controlling them that isn't me, for one.
Well, there's plenty of other players in this game. 10 players up here controlling heroes as Tinker might have teleported into a little bit of a too dangerous place, controlled up by the Broccoli Shadow Shaman.
Didn't have defense matrix up either. Yeah.
Snakes on
Don't know what
the
to
tower.
say. Just that catch out. They do still have really good pick off. Tier 2 for tier 2 at the minute, maybe?
Traded tier 2s, yeah. We see big TPs coming down to the bot lane though. Immortal X has been somewhat abandoned here. As does manage to find a blink out of the Phoenix is in, but Seer has the big RP. It holds all of them back from the Phoenix egg. They can't kill it in time, and they're just going to get cleaned up here. Seer, no chance. Immortal X has half health and no leaves with the Blade Mail is doing work. Jojo Baggins looks for the last hit of the Wraith King. Can no leaves find this? Nice blink out.
Fantastic RP there. I think it really saved the fight. I was a bit worried again about the egg. Kind of just what I said earlier about like jumping in without getting anything off beforehand. But you know, RP absolutely saved the day there. I'd say there was some really good coordination between those two.
Yeah, a lot of trust in your team to be able to just jump in there with the dive and let rip essentially. This sniper though, instrumental in making this not look like a disaster, this fight.
Yeah.
Comes in a bit late, waddles up, and then just starts clicking everyone down. Even after the damage has been done, it's enough to even out the odds.
Fucking pew pew pew. Just off in the sidelines.
Not even top net worth, but he's having a lot of impact.
He's definitely still strong. Like, as I said, I never want to count these guys out too much, but you know, their cores aren't super far behind. 2-3k. It's not great, but it can be managed. You know, we're still at a point where both teams have the potential to kind of win or throw the game, depending on what they play. But Crepe Jars are kind of slowly taking it over, kind of minute on minute.
Might see an engagement here. They might spot out Broccoli, not quite. Moving through the fog here. Peeking into the Roche pit. They might be looking to have a little Roche action. Bit of deterrence for no leaves. Some free pure damage. What do you think we're looking at in terms of carry matchups going into the late game here? Is this sniper just going to have nothing that can stop him unless he's RP'd up?
I know there is quite a bit of catch for him. You said about the RP, but even just a skewer might be enough to pull him in and make it difficult. Crepe Jars, I suppose they're the thing that if they get on top of the sniper, I don't really see it working out too well for him. But you know, we have really good high ground in Cavan as well, and if they can maybe stall out in the high ground between the Wyvern and the sniper and get some split push, but it's really going to come down to coordination here. You know, if
Tinker,
I think
blinks straight on top of Broccoli, straight into the ward trap with the shackles, and it's another one straight in this top lane. Gotta be more careful up here. You can tell the enemy team are nowhere in the bottom or middle part of the map. They gotta be up here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And this might be what mounts a defense attempt. No leaves, gets the deny, but he's gonna get a death ward to the face instead. Skewered back. Truffle's now looking for a big curse. Actually finds the Wraith King, but no big hitters on the outside of that. Into the mini death ward flipper. Bonks down by the Seer, as No Leaf still on the back line, finds the first life of the Wraith King, forces out the egg. Are they going to decide to hit it? They look a bit confused, they get RP'd all in front of the egg, they're all going to get dropped down by the Phoenix damage. Jojo Baggins now under the big sword of the Wraith King, and so is Seer, manages to save his life of his Nature's Prophet, but it's not a great fight there from Radiant.
No, again, like we're kind of seeing like the pivotal RPs. I think No Leaves just kept going, and I was kind of worried that they would get caught out, because they'd used, you know, they'd already used the Wyvern ulti, they'd already used borrowed time, but you know,
We'll see once again in the mid lane. He's going to get caught out by the Tinker and the Witch Doctor combo.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to say about this at the minute. We're just seeing some overextensions in kind of a couple of places for both sides.
Yeah, BKB down, teleports straight in front of the mid tier 2 tower. It's an interesting play for sure. I mean, I think it's just really down to these RPs in the fights, honestly. Hitting 3-4 man RPs in front of the egg. I mean, it's a classic combo for a reason.
Yeah, no, and you said like they clearly have a lot of trust in each other. I know like Muko and Morgs, they play together a lot. I think it was Morgs that brought Muko into this, if I remember right, into this league, specifically because they've been playing so many pubs together. I think they play in Clarity League as well, so they've probably got this kind of dialed in a little bit on their teamwork. They've done really well so far, and kind of. You know, I think if they hadn't been pulling this off so well, that we would probably be seeing a little bit of a different game play out. Maybe not necessarily that they would be losing, but I don't think it would be kind of as definitive a victory so far as it has been for them.
Radiant are scanning.
Tick tock, it's Roshan o'clock. Hopefully Cavan Chumps kind of have an idea that this could be what's next on the menu for Creep Enjoyers. I think they are just going to continue to split. Look at their distribution on the mini-map alone on these heroes. You've got Wyvern farming the enemy jungle, Shadow Shaman in the top lane. Prophet on the left and Sniper at the bot. They're really spreading out as much as they can.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Like they might be aware of it and may have just decided, hey, we know we can't contest fights right now. Like I think after that last one especially, they're probably sitting there saying we can't keep doing these fights. We're going to keep getting caught out. So getting an item or two might just be the difference maker.
And to
They
style
have
might
good
be
high
pretty
ground.
big for no leaves. Get the dispel so that you're not slowed by your attack speed against the Phoenix.
Yeah, and like we have a Satanic pickup on the Nature's Prophet as well. Like with that and BKB, hopefully should be harder to kill. Did he sell Blade Mail? He had a Blade Mail at one point, right?
Watch out, no leaves. There's a skewer awaiting you. I keep calling him Thompson. I think that's actually Reese. I think you might have to correct me on that one.
Or RXCE. I don't know.
RXCE. I might stick with Tinker for now, as
Yeah,
up the high ground the skeletons go, boosted by a little sun ray. Cleaned up by some free Winter Wyvern W's, but top lane, we gotta keep our eye there in case Broccoli finds this Tinker once again. Looks like they're
We're
gonna
just looking for
come
the
back.
catch right now. Yeah, we can see Muko just coming in with the blink skewer soon.
He's looking for it. Sharking. Back to the jungle to build up some more skeleton charges before another high ground attempt, I expect.
Yeah, they might take the tier 2 mid. Like we're seeing, yeah, they're just gonna go for the tier 2 mid first. Like, you know, safer option. Get a bit more out of the sages before committing to a high ground push.
Looked for it, but the blink was cancelled. Still might be looking for it. Truffle Snout does have to watch out.
Radiant's middle tower
And a
has
tier
fallen.
2 dead at least.
Oh, we're seeing Tinker looking at bottom for the Nature's Prophet. It's gonna
Fine Seer, but
BKB out.
BKB Tinker doesn't have a disable yet for TP, but maybe was a bit scared that the enemy team had just smoked all the way across the bot immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it probably wasn't the right choice to be there, but I think at that point you have to be scared enough that like, oh,
A bit
hey,
of PTSD from the previous deaths on these side lanes maybe. As smoke out from Radiant, they do find the Phoenix first. Phoenix does have a refresher, but if you can't get either egg off, it's not going to have a lot of impact. Morgs decides not to pop it as No Leaves chasing once again deep into the backline with the Radiance, cancelling out all these blinks. Broccoli will have another blink up, blinks right into the skewer, but maybe that's a good thing because he can find the Hex onto the Magnus, TPing coming from the side as Immortal X in with the Wraith King straight into the arms of the Winter's Curse. Broccoli healed up by the Wyvern. Immortal X in a bit of no man's land here. Has an
Broccoli
Abyssal
ending the
Blade
fight with
finished
more
up.
HP than he started.
I mean, nice go out here. Broccoli really leading the charge there, but Tinker's here once again to mount a defense. No Leaf still on this backline, harassing these enemy heroes. Pops the Blade Mail, still has the ulti available. As Truffle Snout, no curse up, but still looking to poke into their heroes. Immortal X jumps the Wyvern. Hexed up on the side, once again Broccoli keeping him alive just for a little bit longer, but No Leaves can't get him out with the shield. Immortal X now charging forwards. Tinker is coming to help, and ouch, that went through No Leaves' ult. He had ult off cooldown and he just got blasted in the face by Tinker's huge load.
Oh, holy shit! I don't know what else to say about that. I didn't realize just how much that would do.
It's a lot of damage.
Laser 427 pure plus the
All the amp as well.
13% of it.
Muko
Yeah.
on the side. Broccoli's got to watch out here.
Are fortified.
Still have Aegis for 30 seconds.
The Fortify does take out some skeletons and catapults, but there it is. The skewer we were expecting. Broccoli survives for a little bit because they've not quite got a detection down, but
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
up too far on the Shadow Shaman. Does buy back, looking for a defense here. Seer at the front. Does get stunned up. Muko hexed up before he can get the skewer back on Jojo Baggins, so he's going to give up his life, and the Witch Doctor in fact channels his ult. It's a huge axe ult from the Witch Doctor, does so much damage to the enemy team before he's taken out by Jojo Baggins. It's here with the BKB. Forstos back in onto the top of the Immortal with the Satanic, so he's healing back through. And a buyback from the Winter Wyvern might look for an ulti on Truffle Snout to prevent some. In comes Morgs with the Phoenix. The first ult comes through. Can they click down the egg in time? It looks like they will just in time get it. So no refreshers coming from him. Can't protect his backline slash front line, who Immortal X getting clicked through. Broccoli, can he survive? One more hit from Wraith King's going to take him out. So there's a dieback on Broccoli as No Leaves can't find the Tinker to lock him down. A convincing defense, perhaps. 2 buybacks spent on the supports, but they don't lose a Rax.
I mean, the most favorable buybacks anyway. Like, as good as you could have gotten. You know, I suppose it's hard. You can never quite discount the high ground on either team here. I said that, you know, Crepe and Jars have such good catch from their high ground, but Cavan can just stall out a lot too with the sniper, with the Wyvern. Really nice that they, you know, they caught the egg early there with just Seer hitting it, BKB in the background. Yeah, just a lot of a lot of strong damage coming out from them at the minute.
Catching this mag out before he can, you know, so that he can't RP you on top of the egg is pretty big. I think him making these initiations, then getting instantly caught by the Hex, it's happened a couple of times now. He might need to think about getting a BKB if he's jumping this deep. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't quite catch it from, say, Broccoli's perspective, but are they just maybe pre-casting on him? Especially if he's standing close enough to be in vision. Just get, if you're going to keep linking in, kind of has to be from somewhere where they're not seeing you already, just to stop the potential that Hex coming out.
We do have to give some props this fight to the Witch Doctor. Actually ripped through a lot of their health with the Aghanim's ult there.
Yeah, like what, sent 3 people back. Didn't quite get them. I don't believe it caused anyone to die, but it kept them all out for so long that it's kind of just as good, nearly.
I'll be interested to see how they deal with that, because they don't have a huge amount of stuns to go around. They've got to stun the Tinker, they've got to stun the Phoenix. You know, potentially they don't have enough stuns to deal with every one of these heroes in the fight.
Yeah, but the greatest CC is death, so, you know, just do enough damage.
Very true.
Is that... I've been stunned for 90 seconds. That's how I'm going to frame my
You're counting death time as time stunned if you're a support?
Yeah.
Just add that to the imprint stats?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, are
maybe
we
I'll get from the bottom
in the game state where we're just waiting for the next Roche? Is that how Dire are feeling? They've lost all confidence after that, and now they're, you know, guys, maybe we need an Aegis before we go high ground next time.
Possibly. We might just see a smoke. You know, they could. Yeah, they have 3 smokes up on Muko right now on the Magnus. If they just try catch out, say, Seer again, forcing a Seer buyback before they say try to commit to a Roche or something might be really nice.
Roche is in his pit, but he's gonna trundle on down to the other side. It would have been great if he'd stayed there for Radiant.
Yeah, a little bit harder for them to contest on the bottom side right now. I think they actually had quite a nice bit of control on the top side of the map. Especially with, you know, with the fear of, as has happened multiple times, just the Mag or the Phoenix jumping in and ulting.
It's pretty scary to contest, yeah. Well, they're playing quite aggressive down here. I just saw a blink out from Broccoli, finds the Wraith King. Seer's even going to TP in for this. Can the sniper connect, or is the Wraith King going to be abandoned by his team? They pop the first life, Tinker's in, has to BKB on Seer to get away from that, and now Immortal X is onto the back line, onto the Wyvern, but Broccoli's onto your Tinker. No Leaves also, they're trying to find him. Big Witch Doctor ult is going to take out Broccoli's health, force him back as a Phoenix RP once again. onto the entire side of Radiant. Sniper gets stunned up by the first egg. Refresher comes through Morgs. He's got another egg to play with if he really feels like it. And Sniper, too many heroes on top of him here as Seer. He's come back through. He's going to try and finish this fight by himself, but there's a second egg Seer. No Leaves still harassing the backline, preventing some blinks here as Flipper jumps in with the second mini ult. Almost takes out No Leaves by himself as Broccoli potentially just respawned for this fight and is back through with some control. What's going on in this fight? Who's winning this?
Yeah.
We got a
I don't know.
Seer buyback. Was it just Seer?
Dire's middle tower is under
I think it was just Seer. I was honestly a bit worried about that buyback when he first came in, but it paid off, definitely. You'd probably be wanting to look at, say, Roche right now, though, instead of like farming a side wave. You know, they're all the ones that are still there are bottom. They have no Leaves
100%.
ulti. They have Seer. I'd be hoping to get this Roche
They've
to
got his teleport
cover
up.
for the
It looks like
buyback.
they will try. If you can get an Aegis on Seer, this makes this fight actually pretty good, because it was going to be difficult to contest this Roche. Maybe you trade the buyback. You kind of win this fight. If you get an Aegis out of it, you might be very happy.
Yeah, it's been quite a big gold swing too, actually. Like, we're down to a 5k difference now. I think at its peak it was about 15. And even just as of that fight, it's went from about 11k down to 4. So yeah, it's a pretty big swing for them, even despite the buyback.
They've brought us 75% loss chance up to a 60% loss chance. So we're on our way. We're on our way to a potential 60-minute game.
Yeah, back to the 50-50 nearly. We can see odds of throwing from both sides.
We love to see it. Tinker in the top lane. Gonna dip.
Yeah, these two teleporty split pushers and Tinker and NP, neither of them want to be caught out again. I think we've seen it happen a couple of times, and thankfully it hasn't been too game deciding so far. But you know, as they're getting up there, like 26 on Tinker, 26 on Prophet, those respawns, those diebacks are just too big now. If they get caught out once more, I think it's kind of GG for their team.
They gotta stay locked in here. No
And
feeding
throw
on
away
the
the key.
side lanes. I can see likely a Hex next for the Tinker. Might be I mean, a potentially game-ending item pickup. This Tinker is looking pretty scary already.
Yeah, that's pretty huge, honestly. Like E-Blade, Max Dagon, Arcane Blink and Ags is a bit of a scary combo to fight into it all. You know, trying to look at the other people here and see what items we have. An Ag out on the Magnus. I'm not sure how long ago that was picked up, but you know, just more, just more catch potential for them at the minute. Like, that is quite nice. You know, it's if he catches Shaman, it should be much harder for the Shaman to just Hex now, because you know he can get tossed and at least then you're cancelling the Hex potential.
Yep.
But you'd still maybe want to see like a Lincoln's or BKB pickup, so he can't be just so he can't just mess up those initiations.
Snakes onto the tier 2. Looks like it's going to be largely uncontested, but skewer back from Muko. He finds the sniper. Jojo Baggins not going to make it out of this one. Immortal X is there, and there's a little egg to secure the fight. Truffles now actually jumps in with a Winter's Curse, doesn't quite catch the heroes that they wanted, and is going to pay the price. Could have been very good, but a bit of a YOLO play, especially when your sniper's dead and your Prophet TP'd out.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I like the YOLO plays when we don't need to make them. Otherwise, they're not YOLO plays, you know. It was an attempt.
Do my eyes deceive me? Is that a refresher on the Shadow Shaman?
It is indeed.
Okay. It's gonna be a lot of snakes. think usually you see this build with the big snake is the only thing I'm a bit weirded off about, but it is more stuns. If you can lock down the Tinker for 30 seconds by just with the Shadow Shaman, surely you get the kill as Muko. Maybe looking for some skewer backs here.
Yeah, like ridiculously good solo kill potential on him, I suppose. Maybe the idea is so that they can, we'll say, if he snakes tops.
I'll just send him to find the Tinker when he's split pushing. He is looking to split push this top lane, but Muko's found a skewer back onto no leaves. Does have the ulti, and there's no Tinker to kill him through it. But they're going to drop the RP after Seer's there, but he's got to pop his BKB immediately as the Morg Spy Spirits jump on top of him. Going to keep clicking through it, but now can he click through the egg in time? It's going to be very close. He does find the Phoenix, and his Aegis times out. Truffles now locks in Wraithing, so they're going to be able to find him. Can they get through both lives of his? We'll see if he can manage to blink out here. Doesn't manage to. Goes for the Tifi, but it's not going to be enough. And meanwhile, top lane, there's no tower there anymore.
Yeah, the refresher has
Shadow
achieved
Shaman,
its goal.
He dropped his snake friends, and they got a tower, but he paid for it with his life. Looks like Tinker cleaned him up.
I think he actually grabbed the Tinker and had the potential of, as you said, like solo killing him, but that was why the Witch Doctor also went back, and just cleaned him up.
Potentially a winning move for this fight bottom though, making those heroes come up there.
Yeah, like a positive goal change from them again. Like I know it's a refresher use out, but
that'll come back off cooldown at some point.
I think, yeah, I
got
think
a few more of those.
Yeah. I mean, it opens up a lot. You know, you can now have the potential of Nature's Prophet take it even through, say, backdoor, as he's done enough damage. Oh, Torm.
Seer, with no buyback still, almost dying to Tormentor, which is a little bit scary there if you're a Cavan fan.
I'm
Mark's
sorry,
not even here, but
Mark won't
sure
laugh,
Mark
I'll
is
laugh
laughing,
instead.
yeah. 100%.
It's close. He got there. We won't say anything. Yeah, like we could see some more big items coming out soon. Witch Doctor has 3k saved up. Muko is, or not Muko again, I keep doing this. Morgs this time is going for his Ags. Some nice save potential on him too, and just making that egg that little bit harder to kill. You know, the eggs are kind of becoming. If they focus it hard enough right now, they have been dropping. So picking up the Ags if he gets those extra hits.
Yeah, it's gonna be strong.
Yeah, with the refresher too.
These supports are all
scary stuff.
Quite farmed, I think, relative to some of the cores.
Yeah, like not far off a lot of the kind of the middle of the pack cores at the minute. Like I know, say obviously Prophet is absolutely spiraling at the minute with 36k and 35k, yeah, respectively. But you know, for the most part, it's pretty good net worth wise for a lot of the supports here too.
Jojo Baggins, look out! He's gonna be found by the Wraith King. It doesn't look like he's getting out of this one. The Abyssal Blade to secure and a huge 1800 crit there to seal the deal.
Yeah.
And this smoke was off the back of the double egg coming off cooldown. They were just looked for a fight.
We have refresher snakes. You know, they could back up and maybe just snakes tower again. I think that might be what they're looking to do with the Oh no, he beat out as well.
Shadow Shaman's out of there. Potentially they got scared off by these Wraith King illusions.
Yeah. But it looks like their game plan right now is to just like push out lanes and
bit of
force the pressure of snake thing on tower. Yeah. We're back to a TI3 alliance, are we?
We're gonna see if Na'Vi can do it as they charge down the mid lane. Skeletons and catapults galore. As they're gonna look for the middle racks.
It's just
careful. Smoke up on Dire, and they're going to immediately find Seer on the Nature's Prophet. They skewer him through. Curse to hold back the Wraith King momentarily, and the egg is dropped. Stunned up by Seer with the Abyssal to follow. They're not going to be able to kill the egg. As Sniper blinking from the back, he's had to buy back, so he's going to be shooting once again from the dead.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Buy back
Joffrey's
some
now
Seer as
looking
well.
for more. Broccoli, can he find Immortal Elixir? No Leaves blinks up, but they can't catch the blink in time. Seer cutting off the escape path. There's a Sprout. Life 1 is down. And I think Immortal Elixir might have been abandoned. Do they have a stun for this through the BKB? They just get him in time. They have enough damage.
Yeah, there we go. As I said, who needs CC? That's it right
Damage
there.
is CC.
But, yeah.
You're right.
They're going to check the
There is
Roche.
no Roche for another 2 minutes. And they did use both their core buybacks.
We have the refresher snake, so they have buyback on Crepe jars.
Your refresher snakes, that's all you need to win a game of Dota 2.
Is that all a hero truly needs?
All the hero truly needs is a refresher and to be Shadow Shaman.
DD actually here. Yeah, we could see a bit of a high ground push. They have buybacks up on Dire side, but
If they can force the Wraith King buyback, then that'd be nice. They still have an egg up. No refresher orb though, and RP is down. This might actually be a reasonable time, even without buybacks, to push this. Oh,
yeah, I mean,
there's a refresher ready on the mag though, so they will have an RP if they require it.
a game of refreshers here.
I mean, if you can't lose when your spells are off cooldown, when you've got RP egg, then why not have RP egg always ready to be off cooldown?
Yeah. Yeah, who'll be the next to buy refresher?
Witch Doctor, surely. What's Witch Doctor building? BKB? Boo! Get a refresher.
Boo earns,
Alright, they were praying for this Roshan to be up. But it's not going to be for another 2 minutes. And
yeah,
I guess let's hit some jungle creeps then. Broccoli by himself. Just pushing down the mid lane. Don't get caught
he
by
just
the
really wants that 25.
Interestingly enough, Tinker's not building the Hex.
Yeah, he's Flocktering?
Yeah, it's just going to be more cooldown reduction for him. Which is a lot of damage for a Tinker.
Yeah.
I would like if they had a bit more control though.
Yeah, just like I think the Hex is so big this game. You know, once he's got this, it's going to be quite a jump to his next one because he's got to get Ag's Blessing before he can buy a Hex. You know, or get rid of another item. But I don't think he'd want to do that. Maybe hoping for the late game, the real late game.
Dire are scanning.
And there's 2 scans out from the same team onto the Roche, who has spawned now, finally. But everyone's up and everyone's got ultis. Did Radiant set up enough vision to be able to play this? They're only just setting it up, even though they've had all this time. Wyvern doesn't manage to make it away though.
The mag is hunting. He's going to go
now,
on a fishing expedition.
Immediately given up the ground that you had when the enemy team was dead. Against a lineup like this, it looks pretty hard now.
Yeah, I think they kind of didn't do enough with the death timers there. But you know, this Roche could be game deciding. I think.
Yeah, I think both teams fear they're playing very defensive around it. They're waiting for someone to go in, but meanwhile, that's time for Broccoli, Agent Broccoli in the top lane. He's pushing in the wave. Doesn't look like he wants to stay too much for the tower though.
He just really wants these snakes. You can feel him like You can feel him like yearning for these stars.
I think the
Cavan's
enemy team
rotating
are
up.
onto him. They all seem to be heading in his direction.
Sneaky Roche. Sneaky Roche.
I'm surprised the teams have both just walked away from the Roche. Muko here now looking in the triangle for a pick. Alright. Both teams accepted the fact that no one would do it. So now they're looking to play for the top Roche, and they're finding a skew back immediately onto Broccoli. This is pretty massive for the fight. No lockdown left, apart from the Winter's Curse, which might come out soon. The big egg does allow them to disengage for a bit, but Magnus still goes down. The Wraithing Axe keeps him alive just enough to get a shockwave off that finds the sniper. Winter's Curse out onto the Tinker, keeps him in place for a little bit. Jojo Baggins doesn't have a Satanic or anything, so he's still just going to drop down. The Wraithing's first life pops. Winter Wyvern isolated, going to get lasered down. Seer now all alone with the buyback from Broccoli to hold back, but the cask stops the shackles from being cast. Now Broccoli's going to get double lasered into death as Seer. No one to help him. And here's the second laser Thompson. Refresher out for Broccoli. He wants to go back in with no leaves. They find Tinker with the Hex. Are they going to get the shackles up? But the egg is there to protect him. So their Sunbeam's going to take out the Shadow Shaman one more time. Shadow Shaman's going to fall. And there's no cores left. I mean, no leaves can harass these heroes all he wants, but I just don't think he can chase them off. Although he's going to attempt it, finds the Witch Doctor. There's not quite enough vision for him to get the kill there, and he is fighting up against the enemy carrier. Mortalex doesn't have an ultimate, but he does have a lot of damage. No leaf buyback. One man, one leaf
Against the world.
against the Creep Enjoyers, who don't have any creeps, so they are fighting against the back door.
Tapson or Rixis or whatever is jumping in. It was kind of crazy. Like, we saw how decisive that fight was, and they didn't get a single RP off.
Something of worth requires an urge. I have been hurt by those at their worst, but that gave me will, some power, a surge.
Is under attack.
And they know that I won't surrender. So they fear me as a contender. When I fight, they always remember. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great. We can hit it conquer, like we're monsters. We can last much longer. We do this for honor. We came here to conquer, like we're monsters. And we can last much longer. I am a hunter, I've been filled with demons and hunger. I am the thunder, I command the masses in numbers. Look at the fear in their eyes, this is what happens when you are surprised. It's time to meet your demise, just call me Zeus and look to the sky. Everything's amplified, no they cannot deny. I will be rectified if you dissect me. Find scar tissue left behind, injuries that define me to my core. They'll hear me roar like never before. The pain I absorbed is feeding my core. I'm hard to ignore, I'll beat down your door. If you wanted war, well then you got war. And they know that I won't surrender. So they fear me as a contender. When I fight, they always remember. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great. We can hit it conquer, like we're monsters. We can last much longer. We do this for honor. We can hit it conquer, like we're monsters. And we can last much longer.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Radiant's
Go,
bottom
go,
tower is under
go,
attack.
go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway, and in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Irish Dota League, and we're back with a game 2 between Crepe Enjoyers and Cavan Chumpions. I'm Anti, I'm here with
5 seconds
Mousy,
remaining.
and
Hello.
should we check out what's going on with this draft? Shadow Shaman insta-ban.
Yeah, they don't want to.
They've
Don't
had
want to
enough
deal
of
with that.
broccoli.
Yeah. I suppose the pickoffs, those are. I know the snakes were great, but like the I suppose the pickoffs are kind of more decisive in that. A couple of times Tinker just got blink
10
hexed, and
seconds remaining.
what are you doing at that point? So yeah,
I think broccoli
perfectly
was
valid
tried his
ban.
best
5
here,
seconds
on this
remaining.
Shadow Shaman. So, and I think we've seen the mag ban as well. So I think straight back the other way. We're gonna ban out your control hero that was winning the fights for you.
Yeah, we're seeing some respect
Radiant
bans coming
team
out. I
ban.
know I believe it's the Morgs Pudge as well, is it, or the Muko Pudge? One of the offlane duo is known for it.
10 seconds
And then,
remaining.
similar enough, a Pugna ban
Dire
targeted
team
at,
ban.
well, usually that would be targeted at Flipper, but it was them that banned it.
A
Broccoli plays it as well, maybe?
Pugna ban to
10
me would
seconds
suggest
remaining.
about picking Quop is what I'd
5
expect
seconds
from that.
remaining.
Which
Possibly, yeah.
is, I don't know how much it was touched with the patch, but still probably pretty strong.
Yeah,
Dire team
it's hard to say because it's like a weird number. It's the AOE for the maximum amount of spell steal. So it feels like it should still be good, but maybe not getting a high amount of that steal might be just a big difference maker in how tanky she is in fights. But it slipped through, and like it went the whole way through last time to like last ban phase before being banned out.
10 seconds
So
remaining.
we're
Potentially just
seeing some of the meta get through.
no players that play it
5
potentially as
seconds
well.
remaining.
It's not something I really see out of Jojo Baggins. But we do see the axe pickups. Another pretty strong hero. It's going to bite the blade mail. So kind of dissuading something like a quad pick. Has the lockdown.
Dire team ban.
Undying. The
Yeah.
other kind of meta SS tier support other than Shadow Shaman. No surprise really that we see it picked up.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's what you see. You ban out these hero specialists, and a lot of the meta stuff gets through. Again, like it's so hard to say given the patch was so recent, like how much has actually impacted these people. I don't believe Undying got too badly touched, right? The Tombstone Vision, and then Rotting Mates, the zombie summoned by the Fast Infect now die when Undying dies.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
like,
Some minor
maybe
changes.
yeah, maybe that's enough to like pull him down a few points, bring him from SS to S, maybe.
Potentially.
We'll see how it plans out here.
Now, interesting Skywrath ban. Nice buff for that hero in the patch. I'm sure Maestro is going to be very happy when he's playing against Wongs later in this season of IDL. But I don't know if it really warrants a ban here. You're playing against a support that has no setup for it.
I believe it's yet another hero specialist ban. Mark commented on it last game, but I can't recall who it was. That might just be a Muko Skyrath, and I think it's been played a couple of times to good success so far this league. So maybe just hero preference doing its thing again.
Yeah, well, we continue to see some support heroes banned here. The Rubik is gone. What could they be setting up for here? It seems to me they're setting up with a Rubik ban and a Pugna ban for a big spellcaster.
Yeah, feels that way, but I mean, it kind of feels like it could be anything at the minute.
Ban.
Versus out. Okay.
So Ursa into the axe. So you've got your carry to offlane matchup sorted, and you're reasonably happy. Undying Ursa is going to do pretty well into axe, potentially axe Winter Wyvern, potentially axe +1.
Yeah.
Wyvern into the Ursa for the save against the physical damage, great. And it's a classic Truffle Snout hero, loves that hero.
10
It
seconds
it
remaining.
is one of those matchups where the Ursa can just remain hitting it though too, can't
Just to
they?
build up the
Like
swipes,
build up the
yeah, can be
stacks.
risky.
So like definitely good in team fights, but I think in terms of like laning and pickoffs, maybe not as impactful as it could be.
And we see
And yeah, like
Nature's Prophet
Radiant
most
team
likely
pick.
says, team, I feel like I was carrying and you didn't do enough. Run it back.
yeah,
Pick some more stuns and then let's go.
yeah. I mean, I think he put a lot of that game on his back. He played well for the most part. Outside of a couple of pickoffs, like
10
some really
seconds
clutch
remaining.
buybacks actually.
Yeah,
I suppose when a
and some great
Mercy
teleport
pickup.
rotations early game that, is not unforgettable.
Yeah.
Jakiro Marcy. So we're looking very likely at a 3 Undying now.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Are
Undying
you
Jakiro
thinking?
lane with an Ursa Marcy. I think
5
Ursa
seconds
Marcy
Yeah.
remaining.
sounds like it's going to be pretty scary for the Axe, even more so than the Undying was. And Undying into Nature's Prophet also sounds like a quite difficult lane.
Dire team back.
Yeah. I would be kind of worried that the axe can like just call them in the wave though, like two melee heroes against axe,
Radiant
and
team back.
like Wyvern does do some good work on that. So
True.
it's kind of hard to say how that lane might go. Definitely like high kill potential for creep enjoyers on that, but I feel like Axe should be able to play into that.
10 seconds
Finally
remaining.
seeing the Queen of Pain.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
ignored quite heavily both times. I suppose maybe just these teams not valuing it or not playing it, as you said. But getting it through this far in most games this season, or getting it through this far in most games this season would have been unheard of.
The lockdown on Creep Enjoy is not incredible at the moment.
Yeah.
I like the Jakiro
well,
lockdown against Axe and Nature's Prophet, but against the Queen of Pain, it's a bit
Radiant
hit or miss.
team ban.
yeah. They could maybe do with something to round this out a little bit with a bit more stuns in mid lane right now. What have they been picking so far? No, Puck was heavily banned out against them, but they haven't actually been picking it.
10 seconds
Um,
remaining.
Part of what they've been playing is, well, I suppose like there's
5
potential
seconds
for a
remaining.
DP right now,
Dire
maybe on
team
Creep
ban.
Enjoyers. Just trying to take over the game a little bit.
Yeah, I think if this was Div 1, we'd usually see something like a Kunkka into the Quap mid, something tanky that you can play with the Blade Mail
Yeah.
against it.
Yeah, that's fair. Just try to
10
even out the
seconds
lane a little
remaining.
bit. She is a bit of a lane dominator at the minute.
Well,
Five
Puck's
seconds
made it all the way
remaining.
through, but again, I don't know if the players in these teams are Puck aficionados.
I do not think Cavan have played Puck at all this season. It's been banned out a lot against them, and the inferior Cavan champions have noted Puck player Holy Diver, but in this case, Chumpions do not have a Puck player to my knowledge.
Is it at all possible that this is a
team pick.
Broccoli Nature's Prophet and they're picking a Seer last pick sneaky hero here? Wraith King once again against the Ursa?
I mean, possibly.
Seems not so great.
10
Yeah, I
seconds
don't think I would like it. Right, I don't think that's what you want him on right now. It kind of
5
feels like you
seconds
should have
remaining.
him doing doing something like he was doing last game. They kind of need a little bit more reliable, easier disable. I don't know, like Venge isn't in
I feel like if you're Seer,
um,
you just say, give me the Nature's Prophet again. I'm very confident on this hero, one of his best.
I would be saying so as well. Like I don't know, maybe they just take out something like I don't know, maybe a Willow or something just to like I'm trying to think of heroes that he plays in addition to say you know, like what lines out the draft right now.
Potentially you want a melee hero, some kind of pseudo frontliner, so that Axe isn't your only frontline and he can play the counter initiate the jump game.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah.
But they do go for the
Oh,
Willow,
that is
so a bit
really good.
more comfort pick there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing with their draft, but sometimes
But-
comfort's what you got to go with.
Yeah, like I don't think it's super great, yeah, as you said, but like, you know, especially in these in the lower, like in Division 2 and 3, not to say
5
like
seconds remaining.
not to say there's much of a difference in a lot of these, but um you know, what's a 2 or 3% win rate difference whenever whenever you play a hero twice as good as what you would have played like the ideal choice,
True.
right?
I mean, at least it's a natural Yule's Buyer, so you have in natural Yule's Buyer against the Ursa to prevent his ult from annoying you in the team
Yeah.
fights, to stop his jump against the Quap, maybe when she's disabled. Potentially can solo kill maybe the Marcy,
You may now
but yeah, the
select
Death
your
Prophet
heroes.
is picked up like you suggested.
You know, I've in between games I flew over to Croatia, or was it Cyprus? I'm now with Mark in the hotel cook chair. I'm now 2 hours ahead.
Yeah,
That's
2 hours
what's
ahead,
happened.
so you
Yeah,
saw the whole draft.
I first saw the whole
I
draft.
quite like the Death Prophet as a part of a whole in this Creep Enjoyers draft. There's a lot of front line for the Death Prophet to stand behind and get the ghost damage out over a long fight. If she can sustain through the burst of the Axe Call plus Quap spells, I think it's going to be a pretty free game for Creep Enjoyers.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of, you know, I said it last game about their draft. They feel as a team they're a run it down team, right? Like they like to just be able to man up, especially at like 15, 20 minutes, and just walk at enemy towers. And we kind of saw that play out a bit last game, and you know this draft is screaming at me the same kind of thing here. Um, like I would have to give it to Creeping Jars on this one as my preference again. Like Cavan definitely like they have options, and we saw how good like the Seer Prophet was last game, so like definitely potential there. But I think in terms of team preference, I would probably be giving it to Creeping Jars.
Yeah,
What are
for
your
Cavan,
thoughts?
I mean, potentially if Cavan win their lanes, then an Axe and a Quap that can roam the map is going to be able to play this, but I just don't think they win these lanes. I think
Prepare for
it's just going to be too difficult.
Yeah. Let me see. So it's broccoli on the willow. So yeah. So it's willow, axe, and wyvern prophet. Yeah, it's difficult. I don't know. I don't know how you would play out these lanes for a lot of this, in terms of like on creeping jars. Like Undying Jakiro does a lot of damage, right? And oh, we're seeing some play.
Makes some space, but Muko bounces over the Ursa. They're going to look with the blood grenade for Broccoli. Drops pretty quick. The Sprout comes through to try and corner off some of these heroes, but they're all balled up still
30 seconds
and
to
hunting
go.
for maybe a little bit more.
Who needs smokes, right? Just walk up the enemy.
Walk straight up. Somehow it worked out.
Yeah, I am like as a bit of a Mercy player, I typically kind of hate taking that rebound level one. It did work out there, but it just feels like such
If it doesn't work out, it feels
small
bad.
stun. Yeah, it feels like such a small stun when the dispose does much
The
more
battle
on that level one.
begins.
But especially to get up the first blood, yeah, I think it's pretty fine for them.
Looks like No Leaves might be in trouble here. Slowed up. Immortal X is chasing him down. It looks like they're just gonna be happy with this damage. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think you take it. He's already like going to be halfway out of his tangos by the time the lane starts, and against an Ursa Jakiro, the harass is kind of all you want. Get him down to half or a third HP, and then just walk at him with the Ursa.
I said I thought it'd be hard, but it's already looking even harder somehow.
Yeah. And we're seeing like the instant Tango's pick up from No Leaves as well. He knows he's just going to need them here.
I'm a little surprised that they've chosen to do the supports this way round on Creep Enjoyers. I really thought they'd run Marcy Ursa so that they could put Ursa on top of someone.
Yeah, I kind of thought this. Well, like, I kind of thought the same going by what you'd said. Although it may just be kind of the one worry that I had was like once
The double melee.
Marcy and Ursa are on top of Axe, yeah, double melee into a guy that's, you know, quite likes to be in the middle of people. It just might have been too much. But
I think that the Jakiro is what makes this top lane kind of playable into the Wyvern. There's double melee into double ranged. It might be even worse.
yeah, but like similarly enough, like you don't want if you're Prophet, you don't really want an Undying standing on top of you. He does like a deceptively high amount of damage at the minute, and especially if you like lift him onto say a Sprouted Prophet. Kind of worrying for that guy at that point.
Yeah, we'll see how these lanes unfold. We'll just give them a bit of time to settle. So I expect mid lane might be a bit closer than some of these side lanes. Bramble's down, but it's just trading of spells at this point.
Yeah, it looks like unpronounceable name. We're going to go with Reese. We're going to go with your suggestion of Reese. It looks like Reese is
Tombstone
you know, maybe
dropped
a
to
bit
the top. Seer in the middle of some heroes. Deny the Tombstone. Do you have enough damage still to kill Seer? It looks like the slow from the Wyvern will be enough. Muko doesn't have another spell. And meanwhile in the bot lane, a similar go, but No Leaves is coming out on top here for now. Flipper trying to lay in some damage. Immortal X hooks up maybe a bit too far. Will he get popped by the broccoli ball? Indeed he does.
Broccoli turning him into a vegetable also.
And what I thought was going to be a free Ursa lane, looking a little tricky already. Seer though, fearful under his tower. Another go out onto bot lane. Angry at this No Leaves axe.
Immortal respawned, teleported in straight past the creep wave and ran at Axe. You know, you kind of got it. You got to give him chops.
Trying to bully as hard as he can. Although speaking of bully, Jojo Baggins not able to approach the creep wave. The crit swarms keeping him back as on the top lane we see a jump out. Once again onto the Seer, into the heal immediately, but there's another Tombstone now. They're going to focus the Tombstone. Seer's going to take some damage for it, and potentially this is just a free Tombstone, a little gold injection for the side of Dire. Mango comes out from Morgs, but they just don't have the damage to finish these heroes off.
We're seeing No Leaves starting to cut the wave on
Level
bottom
3
as well.
Crypt Swarm here. This could be a oh, just off the edge there. The Quap. As look here down bot. No Leaves. He's like, nah, I don't want to go near this lane anymore. I'm cutting the creep wave. Fend for yourself, Broccoli. You're on your own, and you might be stunned for 17 seconds.
Yeah. I don't know. We're seeing the Quap is kind of struggling here, picking up a raindrop into the DP and maxing Q to try and get something out. Oh,
maybe baiting a bit here on Reese, but Siphon's a creep and has to back away from it, walk straight into the root, and it's going to be a kill for Broccoli. Nice rotation.
yeah, great TV. I think the Death Prophet was maybe just a little bit too far up anyway. But you know, that was
Muko's
pretty
slowed
big
up,
given.
finds the bounce away.
Yeah, all I was gonna say was it was pretty big given that the DPUs so far ahead to have died there. But you know, maybe they still have enough left to pull away and out ahead.
Yeah, at least maybe even it up here, which is what we really want. As
don't want
No
bot
Leaves, Immortal X, like you said, jumped on No Leaves in the middle of a creep wave and does lose quite a lot of his health. As top lane, big go out once again. They've jumped on top of Seer, but this time it looks like they might have the damage to finish him off before he kills the tombstone. And straight back on the bot lane, they found the Ursa under the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower
I assume it was some no leaves harassing and a nuke out from Broccoli. Shoots his balls once
Dire's
again.
structures are fortified.
Yeah, probably just ulting mid here as well. Just, you
Yeah,
know,
for free with the
Pop
catapult
can't do anything
wave.
about this. He's gonna go, yeah, screw
Radiant's
it.
bottom tower is under attack.
Doesn't look like there's any response coming out.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Might be a freebie. 6-minute tier 1, 7-minute tier 1 tower. Flipper Zero doing what he can against this no leaves creep counting.
Yeah, I think this is where, you know, if you're the Quappy, you probably just want to, well, it seems over now, but you probably just wanted to call for a rotation, right? Just
It does have an
Try
Invis
this and
rune
not
and an
let her.
ulti up. Potentially, this is okay. You can maybe rotate to the side lane now. Try and pick up some
7-minute room
kills.
top. Yeah.
So Muko will pick this up.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under
Immortal
attack.
X doesn't quite have the ult yet, so has to be a bit careful around this no leaves axe. It is broken though by the neutral creep. Fun times there. Flipper's just
Oh,
going to try and
Morgan's
scare
up
him
a
up
Seer.
top lane though. Seer jumped on top of once again. Marcy brings along her friend, the Undying, as can they get him before the TP goes off? They can, they have so much burst damage here. And the Tombstone is not killable anymore as Quap almost loses their life in the mid lane. And bot lane, even more action is going on. They take down the Axe. And now Broccoli
Radiant's
does have
bottom
one more
tower
spell.
has fallen. Dire's
Flipper's got
middle
an Ice
tower
Path
has
coming up
fallen.
though, so it doesn't look like Broccoli's going to make it out.
Oh, he's pushing the TP.
It pops the TP, but the Ice Path is there, and level 4 to cancel it. Now Flipper in trouble because Seer's making the rotation. Can Seer get this one? Does pick it up, but now Reese on the Death Prophet with no ulti just yet is coming in for a suck. No stun to follow. But they do have the damage to take him out. So unlucky there for Seer.
Yeah, I mean, I think Seer could have had the right idea there. Just needed to be quicker on the TP, maybe. Like,
Yeah, and in and out job, you get the kill and then immediately hit the TP button.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe thought there was more to help him, but I don't know. JoJo's up top right now. I didn't actually see the ult used.
Take a peek at the net worlds here though. Axe is really the only one doing very well for Dire. And we can see the Truffles now is going to get executed once again by this combo. Jojo Baggins, quite low mana, a little bit scary. As Reese's Death Prophet with an ulti, looks like they're going to look for this top tower next. Bot lane, they find Immortal. He's got no ulti. Used it, and he's going to get stunned up. No Leaves is there with the shot, but he jumps down to the low ground on Immortal X. Jukes No Leaves out a little bit. And meanwhile, in the top lane, it's the Death Prophet ulti on the tier 1. Morgs even pops the ulti here.
Is under attack.
A fort does come out, and Jojo Backins is in the area. Sonic Wave on cooldown for a small moment.
Dire's top tower
I don't
has
think
fallen.
they can take this. No level on silence on Death Prophet, so I think Jojo is just going to try and clean up the creep wave.
Dire are
Yeah,
scanning.
I think he's playing for greed right now. He's probably been pretty right too. Like they're so far ahead that, you know, I don't think the Quap could jump on him
Broccoli,
consequence
be
free.
careful where you stand. That's quite close to the tower, you know, but maybe it was a bait. Immortal X called up. No creeps around for No Leaves to spin off, but potentially it's going to be enough.
Dunk.
Doesn't
Oh,
go for the
no.
dunk. A little bit too scared on No Leaves there to find that.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah, I
is
don't
under
think he
attack.
expected the Prophet ult. Maybe just a bit of a coordination thing.
Yeah,
He
some
could have
minor
got it off
coordination
if he
issue.
was. Yeah. Death Prophet hasted top. Just gonna.
Heat-seeking missile for this Quap who teleports back to base. Flipper finds an Ice Path out onto No Leaves. there is some backup for both sides as the Undying once again launched on top, but there's a Winter's Curse. Marcy with the ult popped is going to try and take out the Undying on her own team. And it does secure the exit for the Axe. Seer in the back, clicking down Flipper, maybe stepped up a bit too far on Flipper alone. As another jump in from Muko with Morgs. Doesn't connect, but neither do the Brambles. Jojo Baggins in with an ulti. Doesn't want to try his luck blinking aggressively in.
Yeah, didn't have the vision for it, maybe.
No leaves. Finds Reese with a taunt in the mids, trying to bring him over. Broccoli, low health from the engagement, still here with the TP. Drops the root, Thompson, also known as Reese. Not much mana left. Broccoli tries with the little ulti. And Seer is behind now. But Muko is there to bail out Reese if necessary. No Leaves looks for another call, but Jakiro slowing him up with the dual breath. No Leaves, can he get taken out? He does. Found with the Crypt Swarm. Backlines. Jojo Baggins finds a nice Quap ultimate that takes out the Death Prophet, and he's going to find a Marcy for free as well. Morgs potentially in a bit of trouble, but no mana really on Jojo Baggins. Tries to push his luck though against Flipper. Morgs drops the tombstone on the high ground. Jojo Baggins, enough mana just for the blink out. Not going to die to the burn, but the zombies are chasing. Just a bit of an annoyance here. Morgs, the fight continues, stunned up by Broccoli, who's still here with some more Brambles. As Truffle Snout lays in, also no mana on Truffle Snout, so I think this might be the end of the engagement. As we'll see.
Feeling a little bit crazy to be like still going in after the picks, but you know, as I said, they like to run it down.
We like an exciting and active game. We love to see it.
Yeah.
As No Leaves might be in a bit of trouble, hunted by this evil duo, the Morgs and Muko. They do spot out the camp and they jump on top of him. Marcy ult popped, but Morgs does dodge now the call out. Just kiting around, letting Muko deal most of the damage. Does have another decay coming up. No Leaves trying to deny to Ancients, but not gonna help him there.
Oh, I think Morgs was probably pretty right to do that. You know, one more spin would have killed the Mercy and could have went kind of badly from there.
Yeah, nice play, nice analysis of how that fight needs to go to work. Truffle Snout though forces out the Ursa ult, jumps over the Sprout from Seer, nice rotation. They almost burst down Immortal without him realizing that he's in imminent danger.
Yeah, I think they just need a little bit more items on Seer before he can start getting pickoffs right now. He's, you know, unless people are a little bit low health, he's not going to get much. He doesn't have, like, he has a Mithril Hammer. He's just a little bit behind the, say, the Ursa, 1,000 gold. Ursa's closing in on Battle Fury. So, you know, until they get items, maybe pickoffs aren't going to be too clean right now. But maybe they just feel like they have to take them where they can try and get them.
Truffle's now trying to be a bit cheeky there, looking for the XP rune, but it's not going to work out. Regeneration for Jojo. Very nice.
Yeah. So early enough, like, not on the blade mail on Jojo yet. I don't know how much the nerf has affected the blade mail style quap. I suppose maybe this has been as much of a nerf to this quap play style as the actual quap changes themselves. But I suppose we'll see how it shakes out in this game.
Yeah, the minor tweaks all add up. Will be a blade mail out for the Undying as well, so once your Scream of Pain and Sonic Wave onto that guy, you're not going to be feeling too happy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Undying is just such a menace right now.
Seer was thinking about joining this. But instead is just farming up Storm in the outskirts of the map. So Some deep wards out from Truffle Snout. Do they think they could kill Death Prophet, who has the Aghanims completed at 15 minutes, so feeling very strong. Top net worth. They're going to drop the Scream, but the Siphons are doing a lot to keep Death Prophet alive. Do they have a little bit more burst damage? One more Scream's coming up. They're going to find the Death Prophet. Great kill. Can they escape with their lives? Truffle Snout's going to drop the Icy Barrier protection, and now Seer's TP'd in to try and turn the tide of the fight. Morg's in a bit of trouble on his own in No Man's Land. Dodges the call though. No Leaves doesn't manage to get it and pops the Blade Mail, but it's not enough. It comes too late. No Leaves looking for the Tombstone now, and Immortals join, but nice fear out from Broccoli. Doesn't quite save his life from the zombie and the burn. No Leaves finding a lot of spin damage here in the middle of 3 heroes. Goes for the dunk, doesn't quite hit, but Jojo Baggins is there to finish it off, and Jakiro, nothing more he can do there.
Fortunate that the Mercy didn't get the lift on the Undying there for them. Like, the Undying genuinely might have lived for a lot of that. But yeah, look, it worked out pretty heavily in favor of Cavan here. Their cores are climbing up, like Prophet's coming up on the Ursa now. Like, all the 3 cores on Dire are like exactly the same net worth, and they're not particularly far behind the 2 big cores on Radiant.
Yeah, I felt like maybe we saw a bit of a flashback to last game, where some of these cores on either team are just standing up a bit too far, you know, not really caring, no supports behind them, and they just get picked. And it really decides how the rest of the game goes.
Yeah, like, I would have imagined maybe there was a call on Radiant side to go for that. Like, I feel like Death Prophet could have maybe just walked away and been perfectly fine.
With the axe timing, you are very strong, but I mean, you do need a couple of heroes to help you. You can't 1v5.
Yeah, but the like, say the fight happening like slightly closer to Radiant Tower there, I'm not sure they would have got the same
it
level
would have been close, as Jojo drops an ult out onto Flipper. They find the kill before Muho can get the save with the rebound. And it looks like a disengage here.
They're gripping up bottom right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Bit early for a Tormentor, and I don't think there's a tower still down here, is there?
No tier 1. I thought they might be looking at hunting the Ursa right now. They still don't have a blink on the axe.
I feel like it's pretty difficult into the Ursa ult with these kind of heroes. No blink on Willow or Axe. But they can sweep him out of the jungle area, pressure him out, as they will connect towards the mid lane. The Radiant heroes are pincer movementing here. Reese is
gets
the first to
silence
find.
out.
It looks like a freebie for Broccoli. And a free death, that is.
Yeah.
Immediate Reese smoke. Truffle Snout gonna pop it. Doesn't realise though.
Radiant's middle
Pinged
tower is
out.
under attack.
Found by an ice path into the fog. Out comes the rebound. No Leaves. Still no blink to speak of, so can't turn this one.
Yeah, it's kind of what I said earlier. They just need some items right now before they can start engaging in these fights or these pickoffs. But you know, not gonna get a chance. Reese popping out the ulti.
Yeah, this Death Prophet is looking pretty scary. That's a double damage Death Prophet ulti, and with a cloak as well. I think it's going to be even tougher to take her down this time. You're going to need that axe damage, and I don't think No Leaves is going to have to blink anytime soon. Immortal X has his though, hunting for anyone out of position around this tier 2.
This is interesting. Is he picking up Mage Slayer on Death Prophet? Is that a thing? I don't think I've seen that before.
I think it's a little odd against the enemy team that they're playing against. I don't really think they have that much magical damage. They've got the pure damage from Quap. They've got pure damage from Axe Spin and physical from Prophet. So I think it's slightly odd. I suppose the active element does reduce all spell damage, if I'm not mistaken, so if you get some clicks off on the Quap, it's potentially good.
It does, yeah. So like the spell damage will still affect the pure as long as he's clicked the axe,
Dire's
which
bottom
I suppose they can call, yeah.
And with the axe build, you are kind of a clicking hero on this Death Prophet. It's kind of the builds, how the build works.
Dire's
Yeah, maybe he
bottom
knows
tower
something
is
I
under
don't.
attack.
It's just not something I've seen before, but it, you know, could be an interesting pickup. Barrier rune too. He's just getting every rune imaginable.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, you need... I feel like this just comes down to the Quap and Axe both needed to win their lanes for them to be able to play.
Yeah,
As
definitely a little bit.
No Leaves, be careful here. Does have the blink finally, so they might look to play off this timing.
Radiant's
Seer can join at any moment. But without a exorcism ready to go, I mean it's coming up soon. Maybe they do push their luck here. Truffle's now looking for a Winter's Curse. But on the back line, they've smoked and wrapped around. No Leaves finds a go onto the support. Seer's straight there, but he's TP'd into the middle of the enemy team. The Undying's clicking out. Nice Fear pushes them back away from Seer. But the Death Prophet's just standing there in the middle of all the heroes. Can they kill the Death Prophet? They've dropped everything on the Death Prophet. The Blade Mail's doing a lot of work. Is Reese going to survive? He does, and another Decay takes out the Winter Wyvern as further on the back line. Axe goes once again, but the Blade Mail once again not enough to take out this Reese Death Prophet, surviving through all of it. And Broccoli, Immortal X moseys on over with the Blink Dagger ready.
Slightly unfortunate. I think the call, he tried to connect with 2 or 3, just didn't quite get it. Only caught the Jakiro, and you know, early on that made a big difference because Seer TP'd in the back line and everyone was just free to hit him. But yeah, you know, again, it's coming out of these items right now. They just don't have the items that they need.
I thought it was a nice wraparound. I think potentially you just needed to drop this ward on Broccoli, some obs ward before, so that
I think so.
No Leaves has complete vision. And then maybe he gets the 3-man, but he's going to get the 1-man once again onto Flipper. Is this going to be enough? Muko, defensive jump from him, pulling the team away, but Immortal says, I'm not being defensive, I'm jumping in onto the backline, onto the Winter Wyvern, has to freeze himself, drops a curse out, but it's only onto Reese, as Jojo Baggins silenced up just as he was going for the blink, and he's going to go down as Seer, eaten alive by this Ursa and Marcy duo.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, no, feeling a bit rough for them right now. Again, like it's a bit of a chain thing now. You know, they're coming up, they're trying to fight. I think they need to change how they're approaching it right now. Just take a step back and maybe slow down a bit until they know they're stronger.
Roshan, an easy one for an Ursa lineup, and he will take the Aegis on Immortal. Hold on, though, incredible wrap from No Leaves and Broccoli. I think No Leaves double tapped his blink there. They were looking for this catch on the top wave, but he instead blinks backwards towards his own base. And it's gonna result in a massacre.
Yeah. Unfortunate there.
Very unfortunate there.
I didn't see the blink back. Oh. Muko rubbing salt in the wound.
The pressure's getting to him. They've got to make plays, and he's trying his best. I really loved this smoke across. I don't think anyone would have expected it, but the execution unfortunately doesn't follow through. It looks like they will. There's pings out on the top tower. Are they going to try and defend this? Jojo Baggins is up here. This is an Aegis Ursa who's ahead on the net worth and is going to find Broccoli immediately. I don't think Broccoli's making it out of this one. Yule's up, finds some space, does a lot of damage to Marcy, and actually out comes the Winter's Curse, but it stops the damage from the Quap ult. They've lost a lot of their firepower here on Cavan. Blade me out from Jojo Baggins, but he's fighting the reverse damage from the Death Prophet. And it's just not enough.
They're doing the right thing here. They're trying to make sure that Dire don't have the option to like play it safer, I suppose. Just those those wraparounds, as you said, like it was cool. It had like really good potential, but just went a bit unfortunately. And when you lose those opportunities here against a team that are able to run you down, they're going to run you down.
They're still looking for a fight here though on Dire. They're really trying for it. Ursa's just going to TP out, but Reese says, I don't care, maybe I can 1v5, I'm going to go in alone. Is this a mistake? Jakiro's here to help out, but Seer's just clicking down Reese. Ice Pots are helping, but I don't think it's ultimately going to be enough. Maybe Broccoli goes down to one more Crypt Swarm, doesn't get it off. And Jakiro teleports out. So, a small win there. Once again, the hubris, I would say, of some of these players is costing them big kills.
Alright, since we're paused, I'm going to ask. We're go. Rice. Not how I would have guessed. Okay.
Rice? I mean, it looked, the Gaben growth looked pretty solid for Cavan, but it is no longer the case.
Yeah. I suppose, look, part of it is just that I think the Creep and George draft is a little bit easier to execute, and it goes a long way. Whenever you don't have to make these big calls, whenever you don't have to do anything fancy, you can just walk in with Undying and Death Prophet right now.
Come get me.
It's interesting. I think the next couple of ultis on Death Prophet are kind of going to be do or die for Dire here. If they don't get to if they don't make a big comeback soon, I think they're just going to be over with. But there's still life.
We'll see. I mean, a big Winter's Curse and a big call. You know, it's the Seb classic. Can always turn a game on its head. And we know Seer is a force to be reckoned with on this Nature's Prophet.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, it's the same reason I was kind of hesitant to put anyone out last game. That there is on these high ground fights, like there is that potential for, just as you say, like a big call or a big Wyvern ulti. So there's always an option here. Nobody's hunting here. I think he thought Immortal might have been there.
They did spot him on the creep wave. They teleported a few down here, but it's pretty hard to catch an Ursa with an Aegis and an ulti. And will they really do anything with this Aegis? They can force something maybe, but it might just be a Tormentor and a bit of farming.
Yeah, they could potentially look for Torment or Tier 2 right now.
Interesting ward out from Truffles now, looking over the Roshan.
Oh.
Flipper looking for an Ice Path at long range, but not quite fast enough.
He does have the Atos as well. Not sure which is longer range. I think they're about
Dire's
similar.
bottom tower is under attack.
They're about the same.
Yeah. Smoke move across through the triangle for the Death Prophet and the Marcy. Vision is down. Broccoli, be careful, you're up pretty far, but it's not you they're after, it's after the backliner. It's the Winter Wyvern dropping pretty quickly to the Ursa, and now Broccoli, you might have a Yule Scepter, you might have a Shadow Realm, but it's not going to be enough to save you.
Nobody's has cut the wave though.
Radiant's top
They're
tower
not
is
going to be able to
under
just
attack.
easily push this.
Radiant's middle
Immortal
tower
is looking
under
for these
attack.
pesky critters in the
Radiant
trees.
are scanning.
Almost finds Seer.
It's going to time out. Yeah, like I think if this Ursa gets on top of people, it's going to be a bit of a hard time right now. Like, if you catch the jump on Seer, I don't see him getting out. He has the pike, though. Maybe.
Watch it, curious here. It's in danger.
Dire's courier
Too much
has been
danger.
killed.
That's the completed Mjolnir down for Seer for a few minutes.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Worrying development as encroaching onto the base come the Radiant
Dire's
Heroes.
bottom tower has fallen.
Broccoli's gonna throw out some spells, but I think this is really just a dissuasion. Ping out onto No Leaves. They've had enough of him. But it looks like they're giving up here as mid lane. Jojo Baggins also ratting a little bit. Find him with the clipping with the Ice Path, and there's a follow-up stun from Muka. They've got the pull over, but they stack it with the Atos. Does this give time for Jojo Baggins to blink out? But he blinks straight on top of Morgs. Has to drop the Sonic Wave to just make a little space for himself. But Morgs hits so hard, they're stunned up with the Ice Path. Truffle Snout does find a Winter's Curse, so they're going to find the Marcy here. And it recursions back onto the Undying. No Leaves. Gets the follow-up, call in the Creep Wave, but he only hits onto the Undying, and Reese doesn't give a F. He's gonna continue sucking off No Leaves on the middle of the fight as Broccoli pushes them back with a fear, but it's not enough. Crypt Swarm to follow up. Finds the axe. And now on the run, once again the Dire Heroes. Immortal shows up a bit late, but he's always right on time.
I don't know, a bear arrives precisely when he means to.
It's exactly correct.
We have the ult here on Prophet, though. I think this could be Rax.
Radiant's top tower is
And
under
no Wyvern ult to defend as well. And out comes the Reese Exorcism. I don't think they have anything left in the tank for this. They've got the fortification. And Flipper is dying to the tower.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I just can't see them
Could be
bursting
the-
through this Death
Is
Prophet.
under attack.
Yeah, I think it could be the right idea to let it go right now, but
Potentially gets
You know,
into
who am I to say? It
these
looks like they've-
side lanes.
looks like they're kind of successfully holding it so far. But I think without the ultis are coming up now, though.
Yeah, we'll see that Exorcism is actually running out. Maybe
be a
this is
death
their time to
DP.
go. Nolis finds a call in the back. It's once again only onto Flipper, but maybe that's enough to make some space in the fight. Seer has TP'd back into the back lines, and now he's going to click down the supports. Immortal X on top of him, and he's got no pike left, but there's a Winter's Curse. It makes the space. Seer gets away, and they're going to take down the Undying with a few more button presses, and maybe Immortal X is in trouble. He's also going to drop down. Great defense coming out here from Cavan Chumpions. And Marcy, even with the BKB up, it's not going to be enough to fight 4 heroes as a support on your own. Great defense here.
Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised they didn't at least like take more out of that.
Yeah,
Once they
Rax
got the
is still
ultis up,
standing.
yeah, once they got the ultis up, they had the potential, but before that, it was looking scary.
Radiant's bottom tower
I think
has fallen.
this Winter's Curse was critical, and the saves that Truffle Snout provided against the Ursa. And No Leaves might not be getting the biggest calls, but
Radiant's
certainly
middle tower
locking
is
down
under
this
attack.
Jakiro. Like I said at the start of the game, they don't really have amazing
Radiant
lockdown outside of
structures are
Ice Path
fortified.
and the Marcy stun.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, and the Marcy's done a lot of this time is like being committed to saves. So, you know, one less thing in the tank for them to use.
What do we have here? Is this an Ursa Roshan being stolen? That's it's his favourite thing to do. You can't take that away from him. They might run over to contest if they know what's going on, but it is going down very quickly. Seer has the damage to back this up, and Jojo's got a double damage room.
ED, they have all their ultis up.
This is
Could be
looking
seeing
pretty
an
good
immediate.
now for
Yeah,
Cavan.
Scanning.
just gonna say, could be seeing an immediate smoke.
Alright, smoke into farm the nearest neutral camp. I'm a big fan of when my calls do that in my pubs. They are just going to reset the waves, potentially pushing this bot lane and look to go high ground. I mean, it's still very difficult. Do you think their plan is still just going to be split the map with the Seer Nature's Prophet, even though he's got Aegis now? You just use that as a, I can maybe be a bit more risky with where I'm playing?
Yeah, potentially. You know, we said before, like, that he needs items, and, you know, he's getting there, definitely, but it kind of feels like Cavan are just trying to play the game out as long as possible and hope that Seer carries them. You know, maybe that was the plan last time too. So if the idea is just get him as rich as possible and hope for the best, yeah, maybe they're pulling this off so far. All according to plan.
Yeah, that's why I'm scared though. This Ursa Bear seems like a pretty good hero, especially going into the late game here. Against all of their heroes, really.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a who catches who thing, I think, with this duo.
I'd love to see a couple more 4-staffs out on the supports, just so that if Seer does get caught by the Ursa, you can get him out of harm's way.
Dire are scanning.
Don't really know if there's any other way you can save him if Ursa gets on top of him.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the glimmers, if the dive is deep enough that it's past your protection holders, or maybe just. I think 4-staff is by far the most like economical, right? But you know, maybe later on they'll have other options. Maybe they'll pick up a Wind Waker. But yeah, right now if the Ursa catches people, it's definitely not going to be a good time.
I mean, potentially we're looking at another 60-minute game where we're like, oh, we need the Scythe of Vice on the Quap and the Nature's Prophet to kill the Ursa.
Yay!
Let's farm it up, split the map, guys. Alliance DI3.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Some rare patience from Crepe enjoyers. This is the longest we've seen without them diving
Say
at
it,
somebody.
but it looks like they're grouping up for something. It might be a 5-man smoke down mid. It certainly looks that way to me. Broccoli might be the one to pop it though. It's what you'd like.
Maybe Jojo. Oh, counter smoke.
Where are they looking
Dire are
here?
scanning.
They do pop it, but they're on the low ground here on Creep Enjoyers. And Jojo Baggins has the vision out with the Shiva's Guard, but does get caught out with the Ice Path into the Macropire combo. Has to blink away defensively. Seer's really deep on his own, and then Marcy's just going to solo him. Takes out the Aegis. Meanwhile, on the side of the fight, No Leaves once again looks like he just solo called Flipper on the side. And it's not helping this fight this time. I mean, this Marcy's turning into a carry.
Yeah, I mean, always does, doesn't it? I mean, especially with these builds, like you're seeing the resurgence of the BKB and damage. Usually, like BKB basher, but BKB crit here is perfectly fine. When Seer can't get away from you, you've said like they don't really have that much in terms of disable. I think if they get on top of Seer like that with a Mercy.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Again, similar enough to the Ursa, how's he getting out of it? Aside from the one Hurricane Pike usage?
Just when we thought Cavan looked like they were holding steady, steadfast in the face of the ghosts and the bear,
Dire's middle barracks
Rax is falling in the mid lane. Forced back though, because No Leaves pushed in the bot lane. And stunned up, maybe Troubleson could get a curse here. Trying to keep these heroes in place. No Leaves behind though, he's finding the back line. This time he's not going to call Flipper, he's going to call no one. Curse out onto the Death Prophet to prevent her TPing out. So they are going to look like they will pick up Reese, not without some struggle, but it will be a kill.
Oh, you thought you were winning?
Yeah, I honestly don't know anymore.
I mean, look at this funky graph, it's up, down, up, down.
Yeah. Oof.
50-50 win probability. I don't mean to alarm you, but we might be here for a while.
The seeds of fortune.
Strap in, everyone. They're running it down mid the other way.
Are we going for the fabled 60 minutes, 3 games?
Abyssal Blade finds Broccoli. Does manage to survive into the Shadow Realm, but it's very temporary. As healed up by the Wyvern, does manage to survive a bit more. And No Leaves finds the dunk onto the Ursa. What's happening here? The Scream of Pain comes through with the Sonic Wave. It's pushing back these heroes, and now Morgs is alone against Cavan. Another dunk for No Leaves. What even happened here?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know.
Seer's teleported out. The enemy team is all dead.
Yeah, it felt like nothing went right for them there. You know,
they barely got any
didn't
spells off. Ursa didn't get his ult off. Death Prophet didn't get her ult off.
Yeah, no, DP didn't have the BKB, but you know, seeing Ursa dying with everything off cooldown because of the Abyssal just hasn't went right for them at all here. They have, you know, they have the high ground. Maybe once they're on the high ground, they'll have the. We'll see the reverse throw, you know. But
Broccoli surviving this initial jump from the Ursa was critical. They got him out of there. They just couldn't finish him off on the Ursa. Not enough AoE damage, even with the Macropyre on top. So I think that maybe was the decider in the fight, that the initial jump just had no effect.
yeah, I suppose, you know, you've popped kind of a lot of your disable for it too. Like Chikiro had used, I believe, Atos and Ice Path at minimum.
Yeah, they popped everything for Willow that they didn't even get, and then Ursa is just deep in the back line alone.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't care. I mean, look at this Mosey. They're running it down mid. 5-man smoke once again.
They don't
Roche
care.
on 20 seconds.
Is that what they're looking for?
They're gonna peek in, but it's not gonna be up just yet. Setting up the vision for it. And it seems the third Roshan will be back in the hands of the Ursa, very likely.
It's possible. Like, we might see, like, Cavan really for the first time this game are having, like, a positive net worth advantage.
Yeah,
maybe they'll feel confident enough to start fighting it. Yeah.
Forcing the TPs back.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
No Leaf straight up the high ground. Nice blink out, good reactions.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
He's tested that double tap blink works before in this game, and it's certainly working correctly here.
Yeah. Oh.
They do push the Radiant Heroes away from the Roche pit with this move. I think the Radiant Heroes are going to run straight back, but now they've used their TPs. If you know that that's going to be the case, I mean, you could just go straight back high ground as Dire, but it looks like they're instead going to try and fight this Roche. No Leaves walks into the pit. There's so much vision here for Radiant set up already onto the triangle. Truffles now, you got to look out. Walking back as fast as possible. Immortal really trying for this blink away from the Wyvern. It's going to be a hard contest now.
All about the Roche, but
being the body, No Leaves jumps into the pit, but he's alone, and instead the Death Prophet is on the backline. Seer jumps in, trying to fight Reese alone, but I don't think that's going to be a win for you. As on the backline they take out No Leaves, jumped in a bit too deep by himself into the Roche pit. And No Leaves buys back TPs immediately into the middle of 3/4 heroes. Does find a kill on the way out, but that's a dieback on No Leaves. They do manage to find the Death Prophet. Once again isolated, playing kind of alone from her team. Maybe providing an opening. So again, these fights not clean. Not clean enough to be decisive.
No, genuinely surprised at just how well that fight went for them. You know, I know they caught out the Death Prophet, but it ended up in a bit of a 1v1 with Seer and DP, and Seer was not winning that too decisively. But you know, it's went well for them. More, well, actually, with the buyback, actually, I'm sorry, I'm not even thinking about that. Yeah, you know what? It's
The
Crepe Jordan's
dieback
probably
on Axe is
extremely
not
happy
good.
right now.
And indeed, Ursa claims the third Aegis of the game. Now, you want to do a little side bet, Mousy?
Little
What are the
side
chances
bet.
we'll see a 5-man smoke down the mid lane from Creep Enjoys in the next 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think you're winning that bet.
I think so. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll
Let's see.
see.
I'll be more conservative. I will say it won't happen until like 48 minutes for the 5-man smoke down mid.
The support's having a little fight here, Muko.
See, you're threatening the TPs.
Yeah, making way. You may not re-enter your triangle. And likely, with the Refresher Shard, we're going to see an Exorcism for the tower.
Yeah,
Refresher Shard very strong here for Death Prophet. You know, you got a second Exorcism lined up, but a double BKB is what I'm really fearful for. And up to the high ground. Is Seer going to try a rat play? The bot Rax looks a bit tasty for him. Or the top Rax, rather.
he's not trying it so far.
He's waiting for a bit more information, potentially, to see some more heroes.
Yeah. Have they maybe not seen the March or the Ursa right now? Potentially that's the issue.
Might see it soon as Immortal's gearing up for a jump onto Truffles now here. They find the Ice Path onto him, into the Glimmer Cape, and Seer actually jumped by Immortal, but does manage to get away with the Hurricane fight. First Exorcism down, but the BKB second Exorcism with the Refresher Shot comes out. Seer now fighting up against Reese. Reese actually going down pretty quick here. Goes out into the Outworld Staff, but gets 4-staffed back in. And I mean, that's a big kill on the Death Prophet. Once again, so deep away from her team. And it's really costing them these fights. No Leaves. There's another call onto Flipper. We love to see it. No Leaves gets the dunk stack. And another very cohesive defense from Cavan.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of an overextension. I think, you know, just stay back. They were in a commanding position. They could have just taken the tier 3s, or like as in taking the racks. But you know, they wanted the win. They wanted the end, and they just stepped forward that little bit more than they could handle. 10k advantage now for excuse me, for Cavan.
Yeah, quite a lot of that on Seer. As they march down the lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's 47 minutes. They could respawn. They could 5-man smoke down mid.
I'm hoping so. I can't believe it didn't happen. As No Leaves in the sidelines, waiting for a nice call. The banner is down, so they can keep pushing this. But they will choose not to. You hate to see it.
Yeah, they're playing it safe right now. You know, they're risking the elim if they lose that fight, and I think maybe they're just wanting. They've seen they can take these fights. They've won a few of them on the high ground so far. Maybe they decide, oh, there's the 5-man smoke. There's the 5-man smoke.
I don't know if that was within the 2-minute time window I set, so maybe you're winning this
I believe I said 48.
It still happened regardless, as they make a scan onto the Quap. Jojo Baggins. Don't farm that ancient camp, Jojo Baggins. Get out of there. You're going to get killed by the Pistol Blade from the Ursa. Into the stun, follow up. No escape.
Big pickup here. Can they make use of it though? Yeah, they're gonna have to they're gonna have to go back or lose a tier 3 bot here.
It's a big wave. They're going to send a Jakiro.
It is good to be among my kin.
Muko
A pair of blade mail.
might be
no leaves.
found by no leaves. Pops the blade mail a little early, but they are still going to have the lockdown to dunk down this Marcy. And again, they're just playing separated, which is allowing Cavan to find these pickoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you said it like once they needed someone back, and once they step back, you cannot be splitting up as 3 or 4 people in front of their tier 3s.
The
5-man
Quap
counter
may be
smoke,
dead,
though.
but there's a 4-man smoke. Seer TP's out into the enemy territory, finds an Undying, but gets left on by the Ursa. But there's so much control out from Cavan. They're controlling these tiers for so long. Aren't even getting any spells off. Morgs, I don't even think he managed to get a tombstone off there as Immortal. Once again, a call from No Leaves. He's finding these. Finds the dunk as well. Might burn out to the Jakiro damage. Get out of the fire, No Leaves. But backline, again, a random core is dying at the other side of the fight. Reese finds Seer's Nature's Prophet and is looking for more Outward Staff to just for fun, as Broccoli in the back gets stunned up by the Ice Buff. No TP out for Broccoli, and Truffle Snout may also go down here. Finds the blink away from the Death Prophet, so maybe surviving here. Broccoli doing their best to make time, but it's not enough. I don't know what to say. The fight's just one core every time is just not in the right place, and they're getting picked off.
A little bit. It's weird to say it when a team has been so like focused on getting grouped up as 5 and pushing, but it feels like they just split up at just the wrong times. One person goes a little bit too far, one person stays a little bit too back, or goes off to do their own thing, and that's the deciding factor in a lot of these fights so far.
Blink out from No Leaves, but the silence on top of himself. Reese, really nice play there, gets him away a little bit, but is walking further into the base. Jojo Baggins pushes him towards the wall, so no quick escape route here. Truffle Snout with the curse, maybe looking for some counterplay. Could be a big one. Blinks forward, finds it onto the Death Prophet. No Leaves will be there with the follow-up call after the taunt ends. A second taunt has hit the Radiant team, and it's going to be enough as Muko pops the BKB ulti, turning onto No Leaves, but the heal is there from Wyvern. Truffle's now doing so much work in this fight as Queen of Pain, Blade Mail up. They can't fight the Blade Mail on the Marcy, and the Undying is also free to follow. Immortal, be careful where you stand, No Leaves, because Immortal's in the sidelines, and Reese is also here. Buybacks coming through from both teams. This might be the end of the game as Seer on the back line. Immortal between a few heroes here, but so is Seer. Seer's found by Undying, Morgs and Muko, once again the duo, from the laning stage, but with the help of the Ursa and the Abyssal Blade, they're going to find the Nature's Prophet. Seer is down, does have a buyback though. Willow diebacks here, and Death Prophet also diebacks here. Once again, so far away from their team, they're getting picked off.
Dire are scanning.
I don't know how to describe what's happening in these fights. It feels so chaotic right now.
I'm furious. I'm furious at the positioning of these players as the bot Rax is in the target sights of Radiant, but they are smoked up looking for a pick, but No Leaves. He sees through their lies. He finds the jump and Scream of Pain. The Sonic Wave stops the save from the Marcy. Does a lot of damage. Can they chase out? They can't. Truffle Snout with a blink curse soon, but they found Marcy with No Leaves. Finds the call. Seer teleports in. Curse onto Flipper's Jakiro once again. He will fall, and it'll be another dunk for No Leaves. Oh, too quick, no dunk for him.
It's 3 down without buyback here.
Dire's middle tower.
No real buybacks to say on either team. Ursa
can't believe
and Quap.
it.
Oh,
Ursa and Quap only buybacks?
yeah.
Well, Mousy, do you think the game will end in the next 5 minutes?
I think there'll be a 5-man smoke down mid in the next 3 minutes.
I think surely we should see a Roshan immediately here.
I would hope so.
Please put an Aegis on Seer, please.
Yeah.
Check the Roche,
Dire are
please.
scanning.
Scan from
They don't care, they're running it down the lanes.
Radiant low that the Dire should be roaching right now. What's coming out on Ursa? You get Swift Blink.
Not sure if it makes a massive difference here. Honestly, like the Ags maybe against the call from No Leaves would have been more effective.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah,
is under
I think
attack.
so. I
Radiant's
suppose
bottom
slots are the issue for him right now, but I think I'd be wanting to get rid of phase boost for the
Radiant's bottom
exactly as you said for the Ags right now.
Radiant's bottom barracks has Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Slowly they go.
These
30 seconds
these
for
racks are
Jakiro.
rough.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
And they're going to play conservative. They're letting Jojo finish off this Rax.
Are they gonna roach? They're gonna try and roach with 30 seconds left. Are they gonna get it before roach or before he decides to move?
If they
Yeah,
can,
Seer.
Cavan stocks
Pumping
are
damage.
pumped right now. 2 sets of Rax and a Roche. I mean, what does Gabe think about this game? I dared look at the graph. 80% for Cavan now.
This is looking like the Alps here. It's just up and down. Oh, who can predict these games right now? This is certainly something. 22,000 net worth advantage in a game that had felt so difficult for them for maybe 20-30 minutes.
Fit for a queen.
Cavan chumps once again proving that they are not really chumps and potentially are champs.
Are we going to see a name reversal in the next season? Are these going to be the new Cavan champions?
We'll see how this rest of this game goes as we encroach on the immortal 60-minute marker.
Dire are scanning.
I can't wait to see lots of what's the item called? Not Wraith Pact, Ghost
Undying
Bell,
Helm. is
Helm
it?
of Undying.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, it's, something like that. I can't wait to see every hero with one of those.
Thankfully, it's been nerfed a little bit. No, oh, no leaves. And doesn't blink on Flipper. Yeah, but thankfully that's been nerfed a little bit. Now you're not seeing this zero interaction gameplay of dying and just hitting their tier 3s or tier 4s, whatever. You at least can't damage buildings. But you know, seeing that coming out on like Ursa or Prophet right now would be kind of scary.
Yeah, well, he is building into the axe from Ursa, so it's a very significant item for him. And does still have the buyback to play with. So we can't count them out. There's still some work to do for the chumps.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of feels a little bit afraid of fighting right now without the buybacks. But you know, I think if you're Cavan, you have the option. You have the Aegis.
Gotta lock into this game.
Radiant's top
To the high ground they go. Reese looking for a backstab here potentially. Doesn't have a blink dagger, so it'll be a slow walk around. As Immortal pops the ulti, maybe a bit scared there of a Winter's Curse or something. But that might be the opening that Cavan needs. In the back line, here we see the Reese wraparound. Is it going to be effective enough? They're taking him out, and the rest of his team is quite slow to follow. Seer still has the Aegis to go and the Satanic ready. Wyvern trying to get eaten by the Ursa. It takes so long to kill him that the Ursa is getting clicked down by Seer. Seer is standing tall against all of these heroes. No leaves. Another call coming up. Can he get it before the Aegis pops? He cannot. The buyback comes from the Ursa, and Seer left out to dry, unfortunately. As what seemed to be once again a commanding lead for Cavan. As soon as they get near the enemy base, all cohesion falls.
I think has a single team won a team fight where it's on the enemy high ground. Every single push has resulted in the team that was pushing dying completely.
There's just
This has
something about
been
the other side of the map, you know. There's just something
yeah.
about it. Jojo Baggins, the lone survivor, the only one with buyback.
No buybacks for 40
Oh, another
seconds.
minute. Can Jojo hold for a minute?
He has the buyback. Maybe he has
Sonic
to give
Wave
his life for the
dropped
cause.
immediately, and the fortification.
Oh, I think you wanna drop that ulti on the waves and try to make it slower.
I think you do, but Jojo not finding the creeps to
Okay,
kill
no.
as they surge forward. And it looks like, unfortunately, in one of the most back and forth games that I've seen this season, an almost 60-minute game, very close. I'm gonna round it up. Let's call it how it is. That's two 60-minute games, but Creep enjoyers are gonna take the victory here, Mousy.
Yeah. I don't know. As I said at the very start, on paper they were higher rank, but you know Cavan really had them for a lot of that game, holding both games out for that long, and as you said, such a big back and forth. I think they really, you know, they played well. Um, I think both teams had made their share of good plays and mistakes, but at the end of the day, Creep Enjoyers they take the 2-0. Although you know it's very close to a potential third game, but um, we got there.
I would have loved to see a third game just to see if they ban out this CNH's Prophet. Very respectable performance there, and I mean the rest of the team they just played amazing on holding these high grounds. It's a shame they couldn't close it out, but congratulations to Creep Enjoyers. Commiserations to Cavan Chumpions, who will have to reconvene with the Cavan Champions and decide what they're doing there. But until next time, I think we've got some. Do you know what games we've got coming up, Mousy?
We
We've got the
have
other Div 2 semi-finals.
there is I believe there's a Div 2
Yeah,
semifinals.
BDC
Was
versus
that
Cavan
BDC?
Champions. Yes, later this week.
Yeah.
So tune in for that, and we'll see how their counterpart team does. But for now, I think it's goodbye from me and goodbye from Mousy.
Yeah, thanks very much. And again, yeah, Andy, thanks for uh, not only obsing but stepping into cast at the same time.
Oh,
So
my pleasure, my pleasure.
really, really good job. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the games.
Alright, join the Discord if you want to see more Irish Dota. You can always join the league next season. And we've got a LAN coming up as well soon, so details to announce for that. So drop the Discord link in the chat and go join that. Alright.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone.
Discord's also in the About Us section under the Dota 2 Ireland, so link's always there for anyone who likes it. And yeah, keep an eye on the announcement channels, as Anthony said.
Alright, good night, everyone.
Right.
All the roads we travel, the journey of our life. Take another picture before we say goodbye. Arm in arm we're standing side by side. Memories fade, but legends never die. One last time, let's live for something. I can feel my blood, it's rushing. This ain't goodbye, we'll be back someday. And we will find our own way. Take control of our fate. And like a car with no brakes, crash and learn, make mistakes. And we'll be back one day. We'll be back one day. wanna go fast. Know this energy's here to last. Not a glass half full overflowed. Gotta keep your eyes up on the prize. Only got one life, so it's worth a try. To find what makes you feel alive, that's the only way to live it right. And now we're all doing our own thing, but I'll never forget our glory days. My mind is full of the memories, yeah. And I'll never forget what they meant to me. Don't worry, we'll be back one day to celebrate our glory days. We'll be back one day. Although it's over now, don't let it get you down. We'll be back around. For now we can feel some sorrow. A new day, it starts tomorrow. We'll wake up, new dreams to follow. A new goal and brand new motto. One last time, let's live for something.